All of you who are ordained, all of you who are destined to perform wonders, I welcome all of you. Now, I will present you to Chukwukika Biama in heaven. Therefore, our Father who resideth in heavens above, looking down upon the pain and the suffering of your children, as was foretold by those who has gone before us, that a day will come when the world will gang up, when all the children of darkness will congregate to prevail against your children. That time is now. We are in pain. We are in so much suffering that man cannot begin to comprehend it. We ask for your mercy. We ask for you to come and present and provide a way where there is none. We ask you, Chukwukika Biama, we tome amaranime ndomuginime the Ipob. Nebeni nebi chiche, nebeni ne owasotur. Kipe mayi nebelegi di probaso ha, upesi ne tendo ha. Okwaso sweli. We call upon you this evening. The vultures are congregating, the saboteurs are rising up. We are beginning to identify them, and we are dealing with them. We ask you to give us the strength. We ask you for courage. We ask you for every ounce of determination and resoluteness. Make us as hard as steel, as only you can do. Baptize us in your word, in your knowledge, in your truthfulness, and in your strength. Make it impossible for our enemies to come close to us. Destroy them before they come very close. We will be tempted, of course. Our defenses will be tried without a shadow of a doubt. Sometimes there may be breaches, but in the end we prevail, because that is your word and that is your promise. This evening we hold on resolutely to that very command of yours. Your own spoken word. The word that you gave to your children when you said to them that they should not worship any idol, they should not bow before any graven image. We have made mistakes in our lives. We have bowed before European idols. We have done everything but worship you in truth and honesty. But now, having realized the errors of our ways, we present ourselves before you, that you may do with us as you please. So it was prayed thousands of years ago. That same prayer will re-echo, because we are nothing without you. We are nothing without you. We can have the best defenses in the whole world. We can procure the finest anti-jamming equipment available. But it is you that will defend your inheritance. You will defend Biafra. You know that we are honest and truthful people. You know that we preach this gospel in the knowledge that your children must be free in the land of the living, that they may go back and worship you in Zion as they have done thousands of years ago. This is our prayer now and always, because we are your children. You can't abandon us to the forces of evil and darkness. That is not your will, and it can never be. That is why today, tomorrow, and always, as you have called us to undertake this very monumental and epic task, as you have determined that your word must be preached in the land, that very land you gave to our ancestors thousands of years ago, so shall it be done in our lifetime. Allow us to be worthy to serve thee. Chukwa Biama, allow us to be considered worthy to serve you. You know we speak the truth. Our enemies are liars. They are cheats and they are killers. They are bloodthirsty bastards, all of them. All of them bar none. They have brought their lies to bear upon all their dealings. Their tongue is very spiteful against those of them who are righteous before your sight. Please don't allow shame to befall your children. Don't allow shame to befall your name, because we answer your name, we bear your name. That is why today we make this very prayer in the sure knowledge that Biafra will be restored as your own kingdom upon the face of the earth. That you will be worshipped every blessed day of our lives, as our children will do, and so will their children. Until time everlasting we have prayed in your name. He said,
obodo kenenu Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Kani kenebenu Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Ikabugo ndilo yo, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Odogwa nebula buke, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Ika bugo ndilo yi, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Ndilo yi na chozuko, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Anoke zuko, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Umu Biafra Ghana, Nnamdi Kanu, Anyi Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Egwu ndị Ikolobia bi n'obodo a, mmadụ anọzi ikpe ya. Egwu ndị Ikolobia o, Biafra bala anyị. Obele nwa onye fọrọ ikpe bụ Chukwu zitere anyị. Chukwu okike abịa ma zitelie ka ọ bịa tọpụ ụmụ Biafra n'abụ. Otopani na bụ Nigeria, Chukwu zitere anyị. Ma ndị Lova jụziri ajụ, mana anyị nwekwa mmeri. Babụlụ obere nwa na 2015 ụbọchị enyanụ, anyị wee bebe ife dị n'ime ya. Anyị wee jebe ụlọ ikpe, chọbazie ndị mkpọrọ anyị na mkpọrọ. Ndị kpọchiri anyị ka anyị na-achọ, anyị afụrụ ofe onye n'ụwa gị mara. Afa na-agbaji ọsọ na-achụzi fa, mana afa mara na anyị nwere mmeri. Ife ọbụla anyị tinyere aka n'ụwa na-agala anyị, ya ka anyị ji bụrụ ụmụ Chukwu okike abịa ma. Nnamdi Kanu, keduzi ife mesilu mee? Odogwu na-egbula buga matago, obotego nwa onye afara ite agbara eze na boyo n'ikalata. Ife mena yo n'ụwa kibili, ị ga-adị ndụ n'ụwa fụ Biafra. His Majesty onye ọrụ mkpere mụ na-ekwu, akụọ m ọfọ na nne ị ga-afụ ife ọma. dike Biafra ụkwalụ oge n'ụwa daa ife niile nwere oge sugo na anyị gana Biafra ọba n'anyị Biafra ọba na nsọ Biafra bụ nke anyị anyị Chukwu gwara anyị na mgba aka na-ekwuzi ị na-akpọ m onye Naijiria bụ m onye Naija gwakene m opinion of Nigeria mana Biafra bụ obodo m ị na-achụzi mmọnwụ nke ndị ọbụzi ndụ Biafra bụ obodo anyị ebe amụrụ anyị bụ na Biafra ebe anyị ga-anwụ bụ na Biafra nwata chọba nke ya ọbụla ajọ nwa nwata chọba nke ya ọbụla ajọ nwa mana mmachọ nke mụ n'elu ụwa onye ọcha mma aba m afa n'elu ụwa nne na nna m mụrụ n'ụwa ga-aba m afa afa m bụ onye ka Chukwu Biafra bụ obodo anyị amarọ m ife bụ Naijiria ikuku bụ ya n'isi guo kedu ife ọ ga-eme n'Igbo Nnamdi Kanu ọhamadike Biafra isi mere anyị ole n'ụwa ka njikọba egwu ọlụ ịnụrụ n'ụwa juru m anya isi kpọta Igbo n'ụlọ juru m anya ekene ka njidi ya ole n'ụwa Nnamdi Kanu ekene ka njidi ya ole n'ụwa Nnamdi Kanu ọhamadike Biafra nwonye afọ Igbo ịrapụrụ oche eze nna gị wee were ndụ gị wee tinye ka anyị nwere onwe anyị ife ọma n'ụwa makọ na be ife dị mma ọmakọ na be abala n'ọnụ n'ọmegbu mgbanụ ka ikele n'odogwu Nnamdi Kanu ọhamadike odogwu abụrụ ọka ime bụ ma ncha Nnamdi Kanu ọhamadike kịtịkpa gbara anyị ọghọrọ mbuze Nnamdi Kanu ọhamadike onye afara ibe Nnamdi Kanu ọhamadike ike agwụgo ndị iloyi Nnamdi Kanu ọhamadike iloyi na-achọzi Pittsburgh Nnamdi Kanu ọhamadike iloyi na-achọzi Dallas Nnamdi Kanu ọhamadike ọ sị na ọ bụ reconstruction Nnamdi Kanu ọhamadike mana anyị aka n'ozi oyibo Nnamdi Kanu ọhamadike Biafra bụ obodo anyị Nnamdi Kanu ọhamadike Biafra bụ ana anyị Nnamdi Kanu anyị ga-ana ọhamadike anyị ga-ana n'oge ezugo Nnamdi Kanu ọhamadike onye nọchi ụzọ ife ọbụla owelu Nnamdi Kanu ọhamadike ife mena deputy director Nnamdi Kanu Alụfosus Uchemọfọ ọhamadike n'okwu gị bụ Nnamdi Kanu ọhamadike Emeka gị tụọ imo Nnamdi Kanu isi ike na-emetụta ọhamadike eduzi ada Biafra Nnamdi Kanu ada n'ịdị ọra mma ọhamadike Mrs. Uchenna Kanu Nnamdi Kanu ọhamadike ife mere His Royal Highness Nnamdi Kanu ọhamadike eze Israel Kanu Nnamdi Kanu ọhamadike Nnamdi Kanu odogwu Nnamdi Kanu ọhamadike Ekike egwu na-akpọ Nnamdi Kanu ọhamadike anyị abụghị ụzọ ndị na-ele ya aka Nnamdi Kanu ọhamadike ife mena His Excellency Nnamdi Kanu ọhamadike Gọvanọ Fayose Nnamdi Kanu of Ekiti ọhamadike kedu maka Femi Kayode Nnamdi Kanu ọhamadike ndị Igbo ga na-alala ụla aga egwu balance tidogo egwu ikorobịa ikolobịa nọ n'obodo a ikolobịa nọkwa n'obodo a ngwanụ n'oge ekwezuo ọhamadike Biafra ọhamadike Biafra ike akwụgo ndị ilo ike akwụgo ndị ilo
Good evening, wonderful people, great Biafrans, wherever you are domiciled, wherever you are living, wherever you are residing, we welcome you to another explosive expose, another live presentation from this very location, going out to the entirety of humanity. We welcome each and every one of you, regardless of where you are. I expect you not only to abandon but to jettison everything and participate in this very live and hopefully uninterrupted presentation this very evening. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you. This is the only radio station emanating, run, owned, operated by Africans, listened to across the entire 24 time zones on this very planet we call Earth. And as I welcome you, I will not hesitate to encourage you to welcome those who are around you. I will not, of course, hesitate to ask you to notify those who ought to be notified. I will ask you to ask those who may be suffering from some measure of intellectual delinquency, those who have been mistutored by the very non-existent, or should I say horrible educational system in the damnable zoological republic. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. Today's date is the 26th of April. In the year of our Most High Elohim 2020. The time now is 6 minutes past 7 p.m. in the land of Biafra. That is how you know we are live. That is how you know we are direct. That is how we know that we are bringing you this very gospel ordained from heaven. This very gospel that will lead us into life. This very gospel that authenticates the love of God, the love of Elohim, El Shaddai Adonai, upon those that he has chosen to bless abundantly, those he placed in the land of Biafra, those he sent that they may bring light in the continent of darkness. These very children of his, this very Ipob, this very Biafra that must come in our time. It is our duty and our responsibility. It is, of course, the divine mandate that we enjoy from heaven that is propelling us forward. That is why nothing made by man, no artificial construct of anything that is living can ever derail, stop, nor slow down this very relentless march into freedom. We are unstoppable. And as we are live on air, all the criminals in Asarok, they have now taken refuge. They are running, they are panicking, they are quaking, they are frightened as the criminals that they are, because they know the whole world is listening Today we continue our expose. As long as those band of criminals remain where they are, as long as they continue to precipitate a calamity of unimaginable proportions on the hapless masses and civilians, I will be on air. The whole world will listen, and we shall render them asunder. That's why we are here. I am Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. I am the director of Radio Biafra. I am the director of Biafra Television. And by the grace of the Most High Elohim, a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra, I welcome you once again. And we must proceed very hastily this very beautiful evening, because humanity is waiting for this very gospel rapturously. We are going to take a slight detour from our normal routine. We are going to pray against this very pandemic, this very coronavirus. People are dying in large numbers in Kanu. We must also pray for them. We must pray for those who are dying in Kanu. We must pray that Chukwuka may have mercy upon them. They have families, they have brothers, they have sisters. They feel pain as well. We must pray for them. It is not their fault that they found themselves located in a damnable zoological republic. It is not their fault that they have been cursed with the band of leaders that they have. It is not their fault that there is no medication. It is not their fault that they do not have access to hospitals. It is not their fault that they are suffering and they are dying in their own ignorance. We shall attempt to educate them this very evening. We shall attempt to allow light to shine in the darkness of their confusion, or should I say in the confused state of their existence in this zoological republic. This very evening we preach the gospel of heaven. This very evening we give credence to everything that we have known. This very evening we recite and we reaffirm the promise of God in heaven upon his children, the children of light, the children of Biafra. We are going to pray wherever you are. If you are one of us, if you believe in prayers, we must pray this very evening for those who are in pain and those who are dying in Kanu and elsewhere around the world. Our Lord, our God in heaven, the giver of life, the architect of our existence, the I am that I am, the ancient of days. We come before thee. We come before thee with reverence. We come before thee with such total submission, not just to your will, O Heavenly Father, but that also that your will may be done upon the lives of those who are living. Because our hearts are heavy. It is aching this very evening. People in Kanu are dying in their large numbers, no through any fault of theirs, but due to the incompetence of people who do not know how to run a country, due to the criminal nature of those that have banded themselves together, that they may deplete and impoverish the masses. Oh Heavenly Father, have mercy upon them. Everybody who is suffering, everybody who is in pain, we pray for this very pestilence to stop. We ask you to please lift this very burden of anger of yours upon humankind. Almighty Elohim, we know that everything is in your sovereign control. We ask that you keep this new coronavirus from continuing to spread. We ask you to stop it from contaminating your land in Biafra. Give those who are in positions of authority in Biafra land, give them the common sense, give them the ability to safely handle this very pandemic that is ravaging the whole world. Make it, oh Heavenly Father, that we may decide in our hearts and in our minds to stay at home instead of traveling or going out needlessly. We ask you also that you provide food as you provided for your children when they left Egypt. For manna fell from heaven, so we do ask you, O Heavenly Father. We know that manna will not fall from heaven, quite literally, but we know that only you is God and will provide for those who are starving and those who are hungry. Touch the hearts and the minds of those who can, those that claim that they are millionaires, those that claim that they are billionaires, that they may put their hands in their pocket and be able to feed the multitude. We ask upon the Elohim to always remind us all the time to do even the very mundane things like washing our hands properly. And whilst it may be heartbreaking, please comfort the families of those who are in Kanu who are dying today. Those who are suffering and dying due to the greed and stupidity of those who are in power. For we want them, for you gave me a message to give to them. And I said to them, don't allow the Chinese to come in. But they ignored it. They said he's a Biafran. How can he have the interest of everybody at heart? But you gave me a message and I gave it to them. They ignored it and today people are dying. They are dying because those who run the zoological republic, that very country that you did not create, that very creation of man, they did not listen. Oh Heavenly Father, you are our refuge and our strength. You are an ever-present help in times of trouble. There is trouble now. Please have mercy upon your children. For although we will not fear, though this very earth may give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, we will remain unshakable in our faith, in our belief that you are Elohim, you are the beginning and the very end, and ultimately that your will be done upon our lives. We ask for those who are infected. We pray for those who are working with infected patients. We pray for doctors and we pray for nurses, not just in Biafra land, not just those who are battling in Kanu, but all over this very earth. That your peace and your mercy may be upon them. That in all that we do, every praise and every adoration will belong to your holy name in this very journey. Until Biafra comes and beyond we pray. He said, we have come that darkness may flee and light will come. We have come that the truth may prevail. This very evening there is a slight, should I say, adjustment of proceedings. At the end of this very program, I will be live on Facebook. We are going to take your questions. I will take your questions and I will answer them. Every question you pose, I'm going to answer. You will give us your name. You will tell us where you are writing from or where you are listening from. Then you will write your question and I will answer them. It is our job to educate. It is our job to enlighten. It is our job to preach this very gospel. It is our job to work assiduously hard until Biafra is restored and beyond. This evening, if you don't have your pen and paper, you are wasting your time, quite frankly. If you do not have your pen and paper, I do not see how we can impart any knowledge. If you do not have your pen and paper, I do not believe quite consciously that you are able to assimilate the very complex information we are about to unravel this evening. As the zoo is unraveling, so are we laying bare that which has been hidden for a very long time. What we are fighting is an unseen enemy. I know that all the time President Trump will say that the world is battling an unseen enemy. We are fighting an unseen enemy. You must understand this. Everywhere. The worst enemy to fight is the one that you cannot see. The same way that the naked eye cannot see coronavirus, COVID-19, this very novel pathogen. Because the smaller, or should I say, the more invisible a problem is, the more difficult it is to handle. What we are fighting is an unseen enemy. You cannot see it. But unlike coronavirus, which can even be seen under a microscope, this very pestilence I'm talking about cannot be observed by any instrument made by man. You need to be in the spirit to be able to see it. You need to be wise to see it. You need to be discerning to be able to see it. You need to be informed to see it. You need to be educated to see it. You need to have self-respect to see it. You even need to have self-worth. You must have value for yourself to be able to see it. You need to possess a semblance of dignity for you to be able to see it. Because it is more deadly than all pathogens on this very earth. It is more contagious than coronavirus and 100 times more deadly than the worst disease ever known to man. And this very state I am talking about is ignorance. And it is what people in the zoo called Nigeria and Africa at large are suffering from today. That is the ailment that is killing all of us. And that unseen enemy, Chukwuka Biafra, is going to help us defeat it. You must follow very, very carefully this very gospel as I preach it this evening. What we are fighting is not the things that you can see. We are fighting ignorance everywhere across the board. The reason why the zoo is poor, the reason why people are dying in Kanu this very moment, the reason why coronavirus is threatening to become a scourge on Black Africa is because of our years, or should I say centuries, of our unbridled ignorance. You know, sometimes I love to employ very complex grammar because of those who are listening. I have also adopted the same style in terms of my writing, that as many people as possible may be able to follow what we are saying, because often at times education is lost upon Africans. We go to school, we come out, and we learn absolutely nothing. This very evening we shall methodically, of course, proceed to cautiously unravel why ignorance is the problem killing us today, not just in Kanu and places of such, but right across Africa, and should I even say the whole world. We must listen very carefully this evening. The people in Kanu who are dying in their numbers, they are in our house, we pray for them. They are dying like flies in Kanu State. They are dying there. People are dying in their large numbers, because everything I tell you here is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Because we maintain that we are whiter than white and whiter than snow. That is why Elohim in heaven reveal things to us that mere mortals cannot see. You cannot defeat ignorance without a pen and a paper. You must study. That is why if you're listening, you must have one. You cannot defeat ignorance if you have tribalistic and parochial mindset. I am not and can never be. What concerns other people does concern me. I have been able to demonstrate that on more than one occasion. You cannot defeat ignorance if you come to lectures on Radio Biafra without your thinking faculties. You must be able to reason. We have come, or should I say, that Chukwuka Biafra has determined that we must come, that his light may shine upon his children, that those who are enslaved in the demonic contraption called Nigeria may be set free. And that includes the poor people who are in Kano. That includes the poor people who are, should I say, being misinformed. That includes all the people who are fed lies on a daily basis, courtesy of Yoruba media. Those who are being fed lies upon lies upon lies every day. That is why people are dying. They can't even report it accurately. This evening, as I said earlier, I will take your questions on Facebook at the end of this very program. We shall continue to interact right at the very end because I will answer all your questions. Let us first begin by making it very clear. I told you before there was a news, or should I say a rumor going around that there was a man who had contracted COVID-19 in Anambra State. I came on air and I told you it is a lie. I came on air and I informed you that that was a lie. Some didn't believe me. Some said I was putting the lives of our people at risk, and I said to them, no. That in all we do in life, truth is paramount. You must speak the truth always. You must always, regardless of the consequences, the truth must be spoken. That is exactly what drives me. That is what drives all of us who believe in this faith. I told you that Anambra State government was lying when they said that there was a corona patient in Anambra State. They used it to justify what I will say is a draconian lockdown. They used it to impose curfews, and they have also used it to install the yet unproven 5G mass all around Anambra State. When I said it, some people did not believe me. But this evening we have a video of the man that they wrongly accused of having COVID-19. He issued a statement, and that video will be posted very shortly by Amaka so that those who want to watch it can watch it. It is in Igbo language, and I will not play it live on air, but it is there for the whole world to see. That Anambra State chose to use a very deadly pestilence like coronavirus to lie to their people. It is not just limited to Anambra. This is how it is right across the entire geopolitical contraption they call Nigeria. Lies everywhere. Lying has become a way of life. If you get up in the morning, you have nothing better to do, you start to look for ways and means to lie. Maybe for 3,000 naira a week or 10,000 naira a week, depending on who you're e-ratting for. That is the way it is. Anambra lied. And the man is alive, thankfully. And he said, there is nothing wrong with me. This is the same way that they will never tell you the truth. They will never tell you that the reason why they are going to China. They will never ever tell you the reason why China is now their preferred hub for doing business. That was why I warned. I warned live on air exactly, should I say 4 weeks ago. I said here that this stupid, or should I say satanic deal with the Chinese, that people will start dying. That was what I said live on air. I also said that when that time comes, you hold Lai Mohammed responsible, you hold the Minister of Health responsible, you hold everybody, because there's nobody in Asrock. I don't know who else to call. I cannot even say Oshibato because it's no longer there. I said, right now that people are dying in Kano, the people to hold responsible are those in Asrock. Whoever is there, they should be grabbed and made to face the consequences of their duplicity, their treachery, their conspiracy to commit mass murder. What they have done is to commit mass murder. People we are running away, people are still running away from Chinese-made products. I warned live on air. I said people are going to die. This thing that you have now allowed the Chinese to come in, people will die as a consequence of your stupidity, a consequence of your greed. But because Abba Kyari was dead, they needed to protect Aso Rock by all means. They know they cannot go to Trump to do that. They know that Boris Johnson is a very clean man. He is the UK Prime Minister, yes. UK have done us bad or wrong in the past, yes. But Boris Johnson is a nice human being. He's a good man. They cannot go to him. They decided to go all the way to China. Not that China may come to treat your coronavirus, that China may secure a crumbling, oh my God, incredibly corrupt regime without legitimacy, where a chief of staff is actually a de facto president, where as I'm talking to you right now, Putin and the world is listening, there is no president in Nigeria, there is no vice president in Nigeria, none, absolutely none. As I'm broadcasting live, I have told you my name. I am not the thing in Asoro cannot do that. Whoever is there cannot even speak possible English. And I told you also 5 weeks ago, if you have been following this very broadcast that I'm doing sequentially, I said to you, when they issued that recorded broadcast from Cuba, I said, let me repeat what I said. I said, there is somebody inside Asoro wearing a Buhari hyper reality face mask. And I also said that that man is there only to wave and to smile. I also said to you that he will never ever speak. That's what I said. Jubril, Abakari took him and ran off to Cuba. I told you. And I said there is something inside Asarok that is wearing a Buhari look-alike mask. I also told the whole world that that thing cannot speak. Now that Kyari is dead in Cuba, they brought his ash, but he was cremated. It wasn't that thing that you saw in Abuja, that wasn't him. Has the one in Asarok spoken? No. Let's continue. I am going to destroy them too. First, they've been destroyed already. Completely destroyed already. This evening will help them destroy themselves, because they are the ones destroying themselves. They are the ones killing themselves. Not us destroying. Of course, Chukwuka has done his mathematics on them. They are gone. They are finished. By the end of this coronavirus, if you go inside that rock, it will be empty. Forget all these statements you're hearing. It's being written by their relatives. Everybody, if your relative is sick in Bauchi, you ask him, oh, hey, Ahmed, write statement for me. Tell him it is on the presidency. Ahmed will write. The next day they say, Oluwakemi, write one for me. It's from Femi Adesina. They will write. There is nobody inside that rock. I said nobody. It is empty. It is infected with disease. A disease as poisonous and as evil as they themselves are. Listen carefully, please. These people run to China because China is the only place you can receive kickbacks. All those companies that you're seeing are owned by the Chinese government, not individuals, but by the Chinese state. But the one in Abuja that brought in the scientists to come and experiment with people in Kano, and those that gave him out, he's working with illegally, all Chinese state-owned companies. Because if you go to Europe, if you go to America, and you give a company a bribe, and American government, becomes aware of it later on, the CEO will go to prison. They passed a law saying you cannot go to Africa and be bribing them, taking kickbacks, and of course festering corruption. This is how civilized, conscientious countries behave. I'm not saying they're good. I'm just telling you how they behave. At least they enacted a law. So now what they do is, your so-called governors and that's rock, they're now going to China, where there is no democracy, where there is no accountability, where you can be as corrupt as you like, where you can give up the lives of nearly 20 million people or thereabouts in that part of the zoo to be experimented upon, to be killed, and nobody will ask questions. They know that Yoruba media will cover for them. I hope you're following. They know that Yoruba media will never ever report the truth. And some of you do not have light. You don't have money to buy data. Some of you don't have access to Radio Biafra FM relay stations or the area that we cover. They deliberately kept you in darkness. The reason why the people Fulani Cabal that rule the zoo keep you in darkness all the time is that you will not be able to reason. That is why your schools have failed. That is why you have no electricity. That is why you have no good roads. They have imposed a mental state of impoverishment. So every day you'll be struggling to survive. Because it is when you're well fed that you can start to practice philosophy. A hungry man, you do not practice philosophy on an empty stomach, is not done anywhere in the world. They deliberately kept people hungry with the help of Channels TV, with the help of Punch newspaper, with the help of fucking Gota, Lagos Ipob, Expressway media. You can no longer listen very well. So when they hear that the truth is coming from Ipob, coming from Nnamdi Kanu, coming from Radio Biafra, they go mad. They go mental. They start coming up with all manner of accusations, which I shall deal with later on as well. All the things, all the rubbish they wrote against me. Because here I read out the good. What they wrote about me, I'm going to read live on air. All the names they called me, I'll read it out here so that the world can hear. And I will demolish them line by line. Because we are whiter than snow itself. Pure purity. That's what we represent. When I push you, I'll show you where to land. Everything I say is verifiable. When I say that there was no coronavirus in Anambra, has that not been made very clear to the whole world? There is none. When I told you that the Chinese will come and kill you, how many days ago did I say it? Are people now telling me that they didn't hear what I said? I said they will come. They will experiment with you. You will die. I also told Nigerians, I said, those that have brain, mark the number of mortality you have now and count it when the Chinese come. You will see the difference. What has happened now? How many days ago did I say this? How many days ago I'm asking you? But it's because of Nnamdi Kanu, he wants to divide Nigeria. Because of that, don't listen to him. And because you did not listen to me, now people are dying. They don't normally go to school in the north, so that the few that they have that went to school, they are dying in Kanu. Professors are dying now, yes, of course. You should see the list. They are not dying. I don't know why they're not covering evil. They have covered it so much that the death is so much that they can no longer cover it. And like Muhammad came on air, there is a vaccine going around. If you see it in Kanu, don't patronize them. What utter rubbish. Minister of Information. These are the idiots you have in power. And as I warned you before, that ignorance has a very heavy price. It's a very expensive to be ignorant is a very expensive business. Now who are those paying for their stupidity and their ignorance and their mistakes? The innocent people in Kano State, they are dying. And you know the zoo, if they say that 800 people died in 2 days, that means it's nearly 8,000. Because if you know anybody in Kano, and also tell those who are in the north, don't come back to Biafra land. Has it not happened? That thing I said, has it not come to pass? Has it not happened? I'm asking you. I told you they shouldn't come home because the Chinese experimenting with them. Has it not happened now? Who are the ones dying? The same people that I told you last week. If you allow the Chinese to come in, you will die. If you're so stupid as to allow the Chinese to come into your community, bye-bye, you people are gone. Look at Kanu. That was one they did, they made Honorable Al-Majri from China. I'll come to that later on. Now listen very carefully. Nigeria has no government. Those who are in charge now are the governors. I'm going to prove that later. They recruited Boko Haram into the army to serve a purpose, to serve an Islamic Janjaweed agenda. They've been telling you all these days, preparing your mind. Oh, Shaka, whatever. He might repent. He's planning to surrender. And that is what the Yoruba Gota media have been reporting. I call them Gota media. got drainage than them. They have no soul and no conscience. No soul and no conscience. I don't know if they are bitter. I don't know if they are bitter because they lost a lot into the Fulani Caliphate. Because of that, they want everybody to be Fulanized by the Fulani. I don't know if that is the reason. I don't know why. Do you know what they're planning to do? They are negotiating. You know, they'll be wondering how we get our intel, but of course they know it's spot on. The Buratai, he has now fled to Niger Republic. That's where he is. That's why you cannot see him on video. You can never see him on video. Never again you can see him. He asked the Army High Command in Nigeria to offer Shekau everything and give Shekau the caliphate is looking for with the headquarters in Maiduguri. Listen carefully to this. And then join with the Nigerian army so two of them can march down to the south. That's the deal. They are now negotiating with Shekau. The day will happen. I will tell you. I told you so. So, in order to condition the mind of their Nigerians, it's telling, we are getting feelers. Shekau is about to surrender. Does that sound real to you? They are making it possible for you. They are using Channels TV. They are using Punch newspaper. They are using all this gota compromised media to massage your anger, soothe them away. So that when they tell you now that Shekau has a caliphate of his own in the northeast, nobody will complain. That's what they're doing. It's called kite flying, to test you to see how you receive the information, how you receive the message. That's what they're doing. And they say he's about to surrender. They have nowhere to hide. The zoo, nowhere to hide. I have all the information. Everything inside Asorok. They have taken Osibajo away thinking that I get my information from him. They are insane. I have all the information, everything at the palm of my hands. Anything they do, any meeting they hold, any deliberation they have, anywhere they discuss it, we have it. It's sometimes that we choose not to disclose some of them. Listen very carefully this evening to what we are preaching. They want Boko Haram to join them in the invasion of the south. And when they come to the south, Yoruba will not be spared. What I'm saying this evening is that Yoruba, there are good, decent Yoruba people. Decent, good people. Honorable men and women in Yoruba land. If you don't hold your journalists, if you don't hold them, if you don't ask your journalists, I am asking this evening to ask Yoruba journalists to try to be as objective as possible, because Yoruba land will also be conquered in what is about to happen. As I'm saying it now, as I'll tell you, look at the time, please. Time is to 8, isn't it? Almost, should we say, 19 to 8, or thereabout. Write it down on a piece of paper. So when it happens, I will tell you. Remember, as I'm telling you now about Anambra and also about the Chinese. You know, when I say these things, it doesn't sound proper, it doesn't sound real until it happens. Yoruba land will be taken. That is why they're all in your forests. And the people aiding and abetting this Janjaweed expansionism are the men and women of Yoruba extraction working in the Nigerian media. They are the problem. They are the, and I've been sounding this warning, they are the problem. There is no need presenting a news without writing a features article on it. Telling us that your villages have been taken over, that the people are dying, is not. Somebody who is sensible and reasonable ought to be able to sit down and analyze it. And analyze it properly. Somebody has to. Are they doing that? Have you ever tuned into that useless channels and be able to see them analyze something critically? That was a drama. Rubbish. That is why we must continue to keep exposing them. 600 children are dead in less than 3 days in Kano. In less than 3 days. In less than 3 days. And some people are being paid to prop up this non-existent failed administration that they are running in the name of Buhari, when Buhari is long dead and buried in Saudi Arabia. They know that very well, and they are running. And it is so bad. The lies, they have become so emboldened by their own lies that they come out openly to perpetrate falsehood and deception. I will get to the burial of the one that said is Abakari. Abakari was not buried in Abuja. Where they take his ash to, only heaven knows. But that is the man that they claim people are sending condolences from all over the world. I don't know who they shot. I don't know if it's Osuba that they buried in Abuja. I have no idea. A grave that cannot take a fetus out of the stomach. It cannot. That's what they dug for a man that is big. And as they were unloading the casket or whatever they used to bring him, you can see blood stains. Look at the way they threw the corpse on the ground. Look at the deception. Because over the years they've been lying and lying and lying and lying. They now see all of you as stupid people. They can do anything and get away with it. I'm telling you. They can bring lemon water and put lemon water in ice water and say this is Buhari. You all will agree. Oh yeah, he's Baba, he's Boo. You will agree. Because they have useless you. They have useless you to the point whereby you can no longer reason. The only place where you can reason is on this very platform. No other one. No other one will tell you the truth and damn the consequences. Only here on Radio Biafra. In the midst of this, nobody is telling everybody, nobody is explaining it, that there is no more money. Listen, people don't understand. They keep saying it's Jordan lost his election. I keep saying, how can people be this stupid? I don't know. I keep asking them, when Buhari was there in 1983, his first coming as a dictator, he ruined the economy within a space of 6 weeks. This man knows nothing. This man is fake. All he does is the same mantra that they used, what man that Fodio used. We are fighting corruption. We need to fight corruption. The same rubbish. And as I said before, Hausa peasants fell for it. The same thing now that they are doing was what Afonja did in Ilorin. The same thing now that Yoruba media are doing. Anytime that this very Janjaweed movement of Fulani, anytime they are moving to conquer a place, they first of all go in there and select a few people like Hopus and Emma. They place them in key places. So when they come, their conquest is easy. That is what Yoruba, I am right it, I'm warning you. If you don't call your children to account, if you don't recall what they are doing, if you don't bring them back and advise them, you'll be sunk. We can fight. I'm not sure people can, because you have a disproportionate amount of Yoruba Muslim, and their loyalty will always be with the caliphate. You people are in a very serious mess. I'm telling you the truth. Very bad mess. There was something I said many years ago. If Yoruba doesn't take time, they will suffer. And their suffering will be a child's play. That it will be so horrible that what is happening in Middle Belt will look like a tea party. I'm telling you that. Write it as I speak. That's why I say bring pen and paper as I speak. Write it down somewhere. States may get zero allocation in June. There is no money. Even in the US, they don't have anywhere to store oil anymore. There's oil glut. Nobody wants oil. None of you is concerned that every day they're going and borrowing. Every day they're borrowing. You have economists. You have people who are doing their own, should I say, scientific, or pontification inside TV studios. They're not in the lab. Nothing is happening in the lab. It's empty. There is no money in the zoo, is there? Absolutely none. It doesn't concern you. It's corruption. Very sad indeed. Very, very sad indeed. There is no money in the zoo. This Janjaweed, they have destroyed everything. That is why they target their friends. That is why, as long as they keep Britain happy, they bribe some people in the State Department in the USA. Most of them are corrupt, of course. I say it loud and clear, live on air. If you like, you sue me, or I go to court, I'll destroy you with evidence. I have them. They now run to China. All they do is settlement. As they are busy out, sharing out all this money, looting and burning everywhere down, they are busy, very, very busy, deceiving all of you that everything is fine. There is no money in Nigeria anymore. I said there is none. There is no money. If you think coronavirus is bad, wait until after corona. You will see. By then they will all have run away. There'll be nobody left there anymore. These are the things that are happening that some of you are not aware of. But we know, and that is why we tell you on the day. Go and ask your governor, is there any money coming? The answer is no. There are places where they are owing people for 3 years salary. And such a person will come out and say, I'm a Nigerian. Unbelievable. 3 years, no payment of salary. This is Nigeria. There are some idiots going, oh, this is our Nigeria. This is our one Nigeria. We will find servants, find civil servants. Rubbish. I'm telling you, absolute bunkum. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. The last one, the new lie now is that thing that they have inside us with the Buhari face mask. ECOWAS has appointed us now. They appointed Buhari as the COVID chairman to coordinate COVID, which is a lie. It is a lie. Sometimes I wonder, do you actually feel any embarrassment? All those churning out all these lies. Do you people feel ashamed at all from inside us rock? Are you ever ashamed of yourselves? People will sit down and they will lie. They don't know we are living in a digital age. Now write it down on a piece of paper. If you don't have pen and paper, call your child, your son, your cousin, your sister, your aunt. Let them get you a piece of paper and a pen. Write down this very question. This is how you know something. Because I have said this thing before. When you want to know who is lying, when people go to court, they are asked to present their statements or whatever thing that they have to say, either in furtherance of their claim or in defense of an outstanding allegation. And do you know how the judge or the jury, I prefer the jury, do you know how the jury will know who is lying? It is called cross-examination. Because I wasn't there when it happened, but from the things that came out of your mouth, I will cross-examine you. It means asking you questions based on your claim. Let me see if you answer it. In those days when we go out, to go and party illegally from school, and the principal will catch you or somebody, if you got the wrong clothes on my hair, they'll say, oh, where have you been? And they'll call your parents. Your parents will come. They went there. They don't know if you went to party illegally or not. They will now ask you questions. Okay, who was in the dormitory at 10 p.m.? When was the lights out? What did you have for dinner in school? What happened? If you can't answer, then they'll know you're lying. That's how this life works. But some people, I don't know, they have been so deluded, so messed up that they don't know what a lie is anymore. Therefore, take your pen down. They claim that Buhari was appointed the COVID chairman at ECOWAS. In other words, ECOWAS is 15 states. So we now believe that 15 people sat around the table and said, yes, we agree that Buhari of Nigeria should be our champion. Is that correct? Now ask Asorok to release the video clip where they agreed that anybody called Buhari should be the champion of COVID in ECOWAS. Simple question. Show us the video. Because somebody will say something and another person will second it, isn't it? Somebody will second it. Is that not correct? Is that not correct? Because you just can't come and say, after the meeting, you say, ECOWAS said Buhari should be the new COVID champion. Somebody must have said something. Somebody must have pronounced his name to say, we are now proposing that the president of Nigeria should coordinate this. Ask them to issue the video. There is none. Maybe now they start working on it. They forge everything. Maybe from now. Now ask them again. Ask whoever issued all those useless Photoshop pictures. Ask them again. If Buhari was at the meeting, how come Ghana and every other country have released their own video of that meeting? How come you have not released your own? Where is yours? A very simple question. Very simple. Where is the video clip of Buhari accepting to be the chair? Because if you nominate somebody, they must accept it, isn't it? So where is the video clip of Buhari accepting and saying, okay, I will be the chairman of, or I will coordinate ECOWAS response? There is none. That's how you know they're lying. Forget all these things that the Iraqs are doing. They're paying, times are very hard. They're paying them money, paying them 10K every week, 3K every week. They will say anything. These are black people. It was a black person that traveled to China to go bring the Chinese to the King Blinken. It is a Nigerian that dreamt up this scheme to go to China to bring the Chinese to come back to Nigeria to be killing innocent people. When the people have brain so they can use them. Other countries are saying no to Chinese products, no to face masks. They are sending fake kits all over the world. People are saying no. You read all these things, and somebody who is so clever, perhaps a PhD holder in heaven knows what, wrote a memo and said the best thing for us to do is to bring the Chinese in. And I came on air and I warned you. You didn't listen. Today people are dying left, right, and center. It is to be lying. Buhari appointed ECOWAS coordinator. What coordinator? I saw the one that I have access to ECOWAS. I have seen the final communique. I've seen it. We are this same Asarok. They say they don't have money. They are going to UN to borrow money. They are going to World Bank to borrow. They are going to African Development Bank, ADB. They are going to IMF to borrow money. What are they doing with it? Bribing their fellow heads of government to insert something. Oh, please, can you say that he's the coordinator? The word coordinator was not used. It was highlighted in bold. Champion. Somebody that they can learn from. Because COVID-19, this very virus, is a nation-by-nation containment plan. There is no wider regional strategy anywhere in the world. The EU has broken down as a result of it. The NAFTA in America, everybody, you on your own, country by country. This nonsense is a regional strategy. Rubbish. Is a lie. Complete lie. Because they know you won't know. They sent out the news so that their ears will be able to say, hey, come to see. Oh, Buhari is appointed champion. Champion of what? Does it mean, okay, does it mean he's not going to address the people once in a while? The answer is no. Because the one inside that sorrow cannot speak. The one in Cuba is stabbed in Cuba. Are you listening to me? That's man. Ask yourself this question. If you people can record a program and claim that this man is Buhari, why can't you speak from inside Asarok then? Why can't you talk from inside your office in Asarok? As the Ghanaian president, every other president did. Have you noticed it? Every other president sat in their office during the teleconference. Ask him where was he? That thing they put there, I told you he cannot speak. Only the person they put in Asarok cannot speak. He cannot talk. It's for decoration. And that is why every time you see them, they doctor a video, they bring it out. They do Photoshop, they bring it out. Ask him to speak. You want to champion coronavirus? Those you're claiming you want to champion, they address their country every 2 days. You have not addressed your own country. You claim you want to be the champion for the whole of ECOWAS. Does that make sense to anybody with brain? That is to tell you there is nobody there. There is nobody there and they couldn't care less. As long as they keep feeding you with lies, as long as they keep pumping lies into you every blessed day, that is all that matters. Nothing else is irrelevant. If they could have hidden the mortality rate in Kano, they would do it. Very gladly. A soulless government. That is why they are looting and burning. Looting, they steal the money, they burn it down. I have written a letter to IMF to publish tomorrow. I have written to IMF. I have written to the World Bank not to give Nigeria any penny because they will still not be. In fact, before the wire leaves IMF headquarters to get to Abuja, they have frittered away all the money. They are thieves, they are rogues. These are your leaders. Our leader 2023. You want somebody to vote for 2096. It's the turn of my village. And you think you can survive it? You think you can? I feel sorry for those who are dying because the consequences of, should I say stupidity, or should I say the consequences of mediocrity is always death on a massive scale. They couldn't hide it anymore. What did the governor of Kano State say? Our situation in Kano is now terrible. Gandija laments because of COVID-19. Before the Chinese came, were they lamenting? Is that a very simple question? Before the Chinese came, were there lamentations in Kano? The answer is no. How come it is now that the Chinese are there that people are dying in high numbers in Kano? Another thing which can, I love questions and answer. That is why I will take questions live tonight on Facebook. I will answer live this very night on Facebook. Ask yourself this question. Now, as at now, Nigeria has the highest rate of mortality in Africa in only 2 days. They have surpassed everybody. That is the one that reports. No, you know they are liars. That is the one that are reporting officially, not unofficial ones. No, these are the ones that are reporting officially. Now ask yourself, what does Nigeria have in common with other African countries where there is no exponential growth in mortality rate? It's because all the other countries didn't go to bring Chinese people in. That's the difference between the Nigeria and other places. The zoo went outside and brought Chinese in. They are dying. Other people did not bring anybody in from outside and they are surviving. Just you do the maths. Is it not common sense? Is it not common sense? I'm asking you. The people who were killing blacks in their land, Chinese were torturing and killing black people. You went to that same place, you brought them in. The same trick you played with Britain. These Fulani house niggers, they will betray the whole of Africa in order to be in prison, in order to remain in Asorok. They will do anything, including selling their dignity. They have no dignity, they have no class, they have no conscience. That's why they went to China. The same China that were abusing your own people. You are planning how to go and bring them back. The same China you went to go and bring them to treat you. Now you're dying in Kano as a result of it. You think you're smart? You think you're smart? Ganduje, whatever Gandola is crying out. I'll read it for you so you can hear it. Governor Ganduje of Kano State has said the situation in Kano was becoming terrible by the day as cases of COVID-19 pandemic continue to increase in the state. This is as the state took samples of fresh 44 persons for testing, while issue of deaths among the elderly has not been settled. People are dying left and right and center in Kano. There'll be death there. Bill Gates knew what he was saying. It will come to Africa and there'll be death. And it's happening now from Kano. The entire depopulation agenda is happening. And who brought depopulation into Africa? The same Nigerian government, the same satanic government, and their Yoruba media supporters. The day the people will rise up, I'm telling Nigerians, the day some of you in the north will decide to rise up, as you're hunting the politicians, also hunt Yoruba media houses. They are evil. They are the ones that have over the years that they have blinded. They keep blinding you. Once these criminals are thieving and stealing, Yoruba media will be covering for them. All those people who are angry in Kano, if you want to direct your anger, when you finish in the politicians, look for Yoruba media. Any channels correspondent. Evil people. Supporting evil. Now, as I've been warning them over the years, this evil you're supporting, innocent people will get hurt. They don't want to believe it. And now what is happening? Are innocent people not hurting in Kano? Are they not dying? As you're looking for the politicians, also look for Yoruba media practitioners. They are evil. And when I say he's insulting us, I am not insulting you. I am telling you the truth. What do you mean by insult? What stupid is? I'm telling you the truth. You're saying it's an insult. What's an insult? What's an insult? What insult? I speak the truth. Always. It doesn't matter. I ban the consequences. And I'll tell you all the time. Pray for Kanu according to Buhari aid begs Nigerians. He's no longer Femi Adesina, I told you. He's no longer there. Where's Garba? COVID-19 has taken them away of them. I'm not saying they're there though. But everybody's let us say, in isolation. Can you imagine that something as big as this is happening? They have now brought in Bashir Ahmad. He is now the face of the presidency. Because there is nobody there anymore. Maybe I shall brought this one in. When you say to Nigerians, you people are dumb and useless, you say I'm insulting you. I'm not. God in heaven knows I'm not. I want you to open your brain, because all this stupid fancy English, it doesn't work with you. It just doesn't work. Nobody can rise up and say, oh, but where is Femi Adesina? Oh, where is Garba Shehu? Who is this one? Where are you coming from? What is your job? How come we are no longer hearing from Garba Shehu? What happened to him? What happened to Femi Adesina? Why you? Nobody can ask that. It's anything he writes. Oh, remember, your envelope is coming soon. Oh, yes, all correct, sir. He will just publish. Who is this man? He said his name is Bashir Ahmad. He is President Buhari's personal assistant on new media. This is a new one. I've not seen him before. Of course, he's been there in the background before, that I know. But he's now the public face of the cabal. He has called on Nigerians to pray for Kano State due to the recent reported mass deaths recorded in the state amid the deadly corona. You see how these people lie. Instead of them to come out and say that people are dying in Kano State as a result of coronavirus infection, they are saying that there are mysterious deaths. Did you see Yoruba media? There are mysterious hey dear. There are mysterious deaths. Mystery is a mystery. Do you know why they're writing it? So that some of you will not go back and listen to Nnamdi Kanu's broadcast and blame the Chinese that they brought. I said no to the Chinese. I told you, you will die. If they come, you're going to die. Today you're dying in Kano. And now it's time for prayer. It's prayer time. You know, after praying for those in Kano, one of your Pentecostal pastors will tell you to at least bring your tithes with you, so that this prayer, so that Jesus Christ will receive these prayers on behalf of the dead people. Everybody is just, that is because they are criminals and scammers. That is why when they see you speaking to them, oh, you're a scammer. No, the guy is, as I said, I'll deal with that later on. You're a scammer because they are thieves. So they think everybody is like them. When they see money, their body will be vibrating. They think everybody is the way they are. They have taken money. They have published rubbish. They have deceived you. Now, Kano State is paying for it. And everybody is there. Everybody is there. Every tribe, every ethnicity is in Kano as well. The way they are in Lagos. So some of your people are going to die as well. Let them be going in Kano. Let them not come home. They should stay there. I told them years ago, that month you're in, you will see what will happen to you. He is now begging. It has been reported, while some had corona symptoms, which are yet to be, just imagine this rubbish. Some has corona symptoms. There are speculation of meningitis. Can you believe such rubbish? So that meningitis didn't come all these years. It's all of a sudden. Now there is hunger in the land, there is meningitis. No longer coronavirus. Now there's hunger in the land, you're telling people, oh, don't patronize people selling vaccine. Do you understand what is happening in the zoo? Do you see how messed up the whole place is? Do you see why Nigeria should not exist? Do you see why there should be a division so that people can go and be on their own? Do you understand it? What is that? What I keep asking Yoruba media, all these things you're doing, what do you gain out of it? Is it that you are born evil? You're a very bad person by nature. Why are you doing all of these things? Is it the pain that the same way they took a lot from us, let them go and take your land? Is that why you're doing? Why are you wicked? Why are you doing all of this? Covering evil all the time. Why? You will get tired. One day you will get tired and you will confess all your sins. How many people have died of 640 children? 640. And what can, instead of the government to come out and say, oh, this is a very terrible statistic, people are dying, it's not very good. No, he said, the 640 died over a week. It's not 2 days, it's over a week. He's trying to spin it and trust the media, they will carry it. Oh, don't stop pressing alarm, stop letting people to panic. The people that died in Kano State is over 2 weeks, it's not just in 2 days, so there's no cause for alarm, and people are dying. That is how some of the journalists, they went to Harvard, they went to Oxford. They are learned people with pedigree. Very love lies and a love lying. And here we expose them. Here on this platform. As I'm sat behind this microphone, we must expose them. This is Radio Biafra, we're live and we're direct, and mankind is listening. And as I'm speaking, they are hiding under their beds. Those that was coronavirus spread in Asarok, they are hiding. In fact, there's nobody there to start with. They have all disappeared, run away. Nigeria has no functioning government. There is none. No president, no vice, no special advisor, no chief of staff. Everything is empty. It is ghosty, and that is why they are there. They are the 419 Yahoo inside us rock. Who do we get money from? Let's go to IMF. They've been to IMF before. They rebuffed them. You know what they said to IMF? We want to fight COVID-19. With COVID-19 are you fighting? All the money that you have you finished spending it? They have shared all of it. And once the money comes in, they tell you, oh, we are reviving the feeding program for Almajiri. The same Almajiri they drove away from Kano, they will tell you they are now reviving their feeding program. All their money will be gone. Now they start looking for, maybe they'll go to Liechtenstein to go and beg for money. There is no shame. How can a human being, a man, a grown-up man, you are moving about, you have no shame? There is no shame. None whatsoever. You keep lying and deceiving yourselves. Here we do not lie, and we can't deceive ourselves. Why will people die? I warned you that the China will come and you will die. Didn't I say that to you? Has it not happened? People who don't reason, you don't listen because what should be Nam the Kano? Why is he not a Yoruba man? He should be a Yoruba man telling us this. Then write about it. Just imagine. That's how terrible they are. People complain, even the Canadian government, 1 million masks we bought from China is unfit for health workers. If you wear it and go into the ICU unit, you will contract coronavirus. It's there for warning signs. China wants to spread this disease all over the whole world. When I say it, some people get angry, but it's the truth. And Canadian government said no. The Canadian government said on Friday that 1 million KN95 masks imported from China did not meet its strict standards and so could not be distributed to frontline health workers amid coronavirus pandemic. White people who are educated, white people who are advanced, they are struggling with coronavirus. Look at Kano State. I think Kano can cope. I'm asking you, do you think Ganduje can cope? Men who are learned, men that run advanced economies, that are struggling. Are you telling me that Ganduje, with his danchiki inside, looking through a microscope, what is the microscope is called? Touching the cold chocolate with his hands. Is that the one that will take care of people in Kano? And now the government is moving to the governors because there is nobody at the center anymore. Anybody can do whatever they like now. And that is why Ipob State is in a lockdown. It's been taken over by Chinese. And that is why if you come outside, they will flog you. There will be anything they like, man. They cannot do. Governors are now kings. They can do whatever they like. That is why they have access to the Commissioner of Police, and they have access to the nearest army barracks. The reason why they put army barracks in every major town in and around the zoo called Nigeria is for a time like this. All the governor needs to do is to ring the nearest brigade commander. They bring to start shooting innocent people. Now you understand it? That you are not practicing democracy. And when I used to say to you that what you have is not democracy, you didn't believe me, did you? You never believed me. Very, very sad indeed. Extremely sad. Extremely sad. People are dying, and amongst those who are dying, which is very, very sad, people are dying in places like Bichi, in Dambata, in Gabasawa, in Wudil, in Kiru. People are dying everywhere. Who are the people who are dying? Unbelievable. These are professors, government officials, so they all have meningitis. Do you see Yoruba media? So all these people all of a sudden have meningitis at the same time? Hey, lies. I don't know what they're doing with lies. I don't know what they benefit from lying. Is it because they are black? I don't know why we love lies. Lie all the time. Why? They said it's meningitis. Are you telling me that all these people, they got meningitis, government workers, professors, prominent residents? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Hey, their names are Ibrahim Ayagi, Ali Umar Diko, Abdullahi Lawal, Musa Ahmed Tijani. The name is from Kwara State. Adamu Dal, Nasiru Maikano Bichi, Musa Umar Kwaruso, Dahiru Rabiu. All these are look at the businessmen that are dead. Salisu Lado, Nene Umar, Garba Sareki Ufage, Shamsi and Mustafa, Nasiru Maikano Bichi, Rabiu Dambata, Kabiru Ibrahim Bayero, and the mother of a businessman, Ado Gwanja, people are dying from meningitis. That's Nigerian media. Because anytime you're sick, if you say you're sick, people, even doctors from far and wide can say, oh, we have a solution, we can help. Look at the zoo in Nigeria. It's like North Korea. If people are sick and you're hiding it, how can you survive? Boris Johnson was sick. He announced it himself. I am sick. Help came from everywhere. Today the man is better. What is wrong with you people? What is wrong with your brain? Why can't you reason? Every time I ask you, why can't you reason very well? Asarok is empty. Are you telling me that the old Buhari, the dictator, will be alive and his Kano, that is a stronghold, people are dying in Kano and he will not issue a statement? Buhari, you can accuse him of anything when he was alive, anything at all, but the old Buhari we know will stand up and tell the government officials what to do. And some of us are still deceiving ourselves, saying, the worst thing he ever did is to say that he's not Buhari. He's that thing there, Buhari. Let him come back and talk. Because you know that once you accept it, that zoo is gone. The world will say, oh, Nnamdi Kanu has been right all along. That's all they're afraid of. The problem we are having in Kanu right now, all these problem people are dying because the Fulani Caliphate, they hate their fellow Africans. Write it down. They hate their fellow Africans, and I'll tell you why. You know that they are descended from a mongrel race, a mixture of Arabs and people from Senegal centuries ago. That's how they came about. The same way they bootlicked for Britain, the same way they were begging Britain. Look at how they all of them. They used to tie turban on British officers' head to convince them to mesmerize them. Today it's still Chinese. Amaka, please publish those photos of the Chinese man receiving turban in Kano. That's how the man came to kill them. The first thing is that the Chinese man came to kill all of them. And they are busy tying turban on his pink turban on his head. Now what is happening? Are people not dying? Are they not dying? They run to China. They see China as the up and coming world power. Let's run to China so they can help us defeat Biafra. Let's run to China so we can maintain power in Nigeria. Let's run to China so we can hold Yorubas down. Because as I said to my Yoruba brethren, this game of trickery, you're playing game of trickery. You will suffer it. Abiola played the same game and suffered it. I will play the same game and he suffered it. You will suffer it. It's better you repent now. Repent now. They have a white man, not white man, yellow. People from that side that are called yellow. We are black from Africa. Europe is white and they are yellow. Then Indian part is called brown. That's how the world is divided in color. This is the style of the Fulanis. And in fairness to them, the Fulanis, they know how to lobby. They know how to market themselves. They know how to fall down for any potential colonialists. And once you want to conquer Africa, come to Fulani, you have your job's almost done. The Fulani, not Fulani ordinary people. I must be able to qualify what I'm saying. The Fulani leaders, those that call themselves leaders, the Janjaweed, they are leaders. They are the ultimate house nigger and traitors against all of Africa. That is something that people need to understand. They will sell Africa out anytime, any day. They did it with the British. When in 1957, the British, Anthony Nahara moved a motion for Nigeria to be independent, it was the Fulani that said no. That the British man, the white man, should continue to rule them until they are safe. And because of that, the British love them so much. Hey, this house pussycat, this house pet I can keep, he is very good. They saw the Yorubas and the Igbos as troublemakers. The South were troublemakers. The North were a good, obedient servant. That was why they gave them everything. And then after they finished giving them everything, they said, don't worry, we'll help you secure the South as well. And the friend asked them how. They said, don't worry, divide and rule. They came down and started dividing us up. Hey, you are now South, you are now Niger Delta area. You are Cross River State. You are River State. You are not, although you're from Eboma or Haji, but you're no longer part of the Igbo family. You are now Niger Delta. And they handed over the whole document and keys to Fulani. Say, Fulani, I now give you Nigeria. Do with it as you please. And that's what they've been doing till today. Now, because Boris Johnson is a good man, I will not tolerate their rubbish anymore. They now run to China, the new up and coming superpower. So China can help them secure everywhere, help them to subjugate everybody. That is why there are killings, nobody's talking. Yoruba land is under siege as we speak. But nobody's talking. How can you talk? Who are you to talk? That is what they are doing. They come, they sell you out. This today they have now they have sold so many things that today they even sold their own children to the Chinese for mass experimentation. They are being asked to oversee COVID-19 response. They sold their children. They sold their children to the Chinese for experiments. Now people are dying in Kano. That is the idiot you make ECOWAS coordinator for COVID. Somebody cannot see. He's a ghost. Nobody can see. That picture there, nobody can see him. The one with the hole in the neck is in Cuba. They have another one there. Shame. Shame on them with their hypocritical nationalism. That is what I say it is. Hypocritical nationalism. The same hypocrisy of the North that led Tafawa Balewa to say since 1914 the British government has been trying to make Nigeria into one country, but the Nigerian people themselves are historically different in their backgrounds, in their religious beliefs and customs, and do not show themselves any sign of willingness to unite. Nigerian unity is only a British intention for the country. Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, 1948. The Fulani never believed in one Nigeria. They never did. This is the creme de la creme of Fulani elitism. This is the finest of the finest. This man is learned. In all honesty, I'm being honest with you. You see Tafawa Balewa, he was well read. A very intelligent man, lettered man. Very, very intelligent. Himself and Ahmad Bello. Very, very intelligent. Highly intelligent people. I'm asking you, this is what they said. They never believed in one Nigeria. When you see an idiot from what's it called, Guzo, writing on Facebook, one Nigeria, because they are the ones benefiting from it. They never believed in it. These are the words of Tafawa Balewa. Go and Google it. Since 1914, the British have been struggling to. Even the Fulani said that Nigeria is not one. For them today, Nigeria is one. Because they want oil. Nigeria is one because they want unrestricted access to the sea. They want the seaports, or at least Lagos, so they can be getting goods and properties. Have you forgotten when Yoruba flooded Amoteku? You know what they did? When Yoruba flooded Amoteku, you know what Fulani did? Fulani said that we are not going to open Warri Seaport, Calabar Seaport, Igbo, they call it Port Harcourt. We're going to open Port Harcourt Seaport, and we're considering One as well. Immediately, Amoteku died. Because the Yoruba leaders then wanted to keep Lagos as the only seaport they have. So the one idiot can come on TV and say, the economy of Nigeria is in Lagos and going to Ondo. These are the people you want me to be in one Nigeria with? People that their economic, their sense of reasoning is informed by hatred. Informed by a level of parochialism that no human being can even fathom. It's unbelievable. Amoteku, have you been hearing about Amoteku anymore? No. Why have you not been hearing about Amoteku? Because the Yorubas were threatened with seaports all around the east. Because of that, they collapsed Amoteku. It's gone. You will hear about it again, it's gone. Forget all the media rubbish. You will never hear Amoteku again. It's over, it's gone. This is the country you want me to belong to. I think that a lot of people are drunk. They are insane. Because that is why we do it. That's why we preach the truth always. Always. The country is not supposed to be. That was what the Tafawa said. There was no due consultation before joining people together. That was what the British did. We have absolutely nothing in common. Tafawa Balewa. Why should things work? Why should things work? when in actual fact everywhere is a mess. The people never wanted to, for it wasn't long as if he was running around doing his Pan-Africanism, his world Pan-Africanism. That's what happened. And that's the mess we're still suffering till today, till this very day. And that is what we are seeking and working very, very hard to reverse it. They are now raising alarm. Doctors raise alarm over increasing COVID-19 cases in Kano and in the northern states. It is over. I am telling you, it is over. Do you know why it's over? Because this virus operates where the immune system is low. What makes the immune system to be low is hunger and poverty. And all this while they've been locking people up in their homes. I'm even shocked that people have survived up until now. Now their body is primed for COVID-19 to go in and do its work. That is why many people will die. I warned you. There are two diseases engineered, two viruses engineered in modern times. One is HIV, another one is this very COVID-19. Because the human body is very, very resilient. The human body has been able to fight off every virus since humanity started existing. You know what these criminals did in their labs in Europe and in Asia? They went in to try to bypass that. What does HIV do? It attacks the immune system first. It attacks the immune system first so that ordinary cold can kill you. It doesn't kill you on its own. HIV doesn't kill on its own. It never does. What HIV is just like you fighting with somebody, because your body's immune system is the defense you have. You're fighting against somebody, and somebody came and tied your hands and your legs, tied your hands at your back, allowing your enemy to raining blows on you all the time. How can you survive it? That is what HIV does. HIV is not a disease on its own. It comes into your body, it invades your white blood cells, renders your immune system useless, that ordinary cough can kill you. The same thing that corona is doing. The coronavirus does not actually attack the immune system. What it does, it needs an environment where the immune system is already weak. That is why some people get it, some others don't. Now you understand it, don't you? And when they ask you, tell them you heard it on Radio Biafra. We are live and we are direct. The time now is 25 minutes past 8 p.m. in the land of Biafra. Doctors are not raising alarm. This late you're not raising alarm. Now you're raising alarm. But when not they can't raise the alarm, you did not take it seriously. I told you will die. Once the Chinese come in, you're going to die. And today you're perishing in your hundreds. I warned you. Next time when I tell you something, you listen. Next time when we preach this gospel from heaven, I said when I'm here, we are under divine mandate from heaven. Anything I tell you must come to pass. I warned you. Don't allow the Chinese to come in. If they come in, you will die. And now you are dying and you're perishing. All you can do is ECOWAS appointed Buhari as the coordinator. Rubbish! It's a lie. It is to cover up their incompetence in Kano, because the press you have in Nigeria, the media, they are not robust enough. They don't ask questions. That's why they used this lie of ECOWAS coordinator to convince and to deceive people, to deflect attention away. That's why when I preach this very gospel, no, the guy is a scam. He was homeless in London. I'll get to that later. Always seeking to deflect, divert your attention away from the truth. That's what they always do. Now people are dying inside Kano. People are perishing in Kano. People are dying out of their incompetence, their greed, and their wickedness. Who is going to pay? Do you know people are suffering? Families are crying. People are bereaved. Do you have every day to lose somebody? People are dying in Kano right now. People are perishing all over the place because of the incompetence, the greed, and the wickedness of some people. Why should we listen to Nnamdi Kanu? Now you are listening, aren't you? You must listen, because all over the place they're all listening to Radio Biafra. ECOWAS did not appoint Jubril to anything. It was a charade. Where is the video of Jubril making acceptance speech? I keep asking. Where is the video clip of the nomination? Who moved the motion? Who seconded it? I'm asking. It's all to deflect attention away from Kano. The very terrible things happening inside. People are dying in Kano. Terrible. Oh dear me. Oh dear me. Unbelievable. What we have managed to achieve in the past few days is to let the whole world know that anything that comes out of Asorok is a lie. Forget all the paid nonsense, all the advertorials, all the rubbish from the economists, all the rubbish are telling you, oh, this government condones with them. The Economist of London said Abakari is a good man. He was fighting corruption. I said, whoever wrote that rubbish, did you ask the person if they are aware of the 13.9 billion naira missing for Asorok Clinic? Who took the money? Abakari. Who appointed his daughter vice president of Nigeria's sovereign wealth fund? Abakari. Who appointed his nephew to head NNPC? Abakari. And he was fighting corruption. Yeah, we agree. He was fighting corruption according to the Economist in London. What they do, let me tell you what they do. The trick. It was Tinubu who taught them this trick. It was Bola Ahmed Tinubu that taught Fulani how to play this trick. Before Buhari was elected, or before they rigged him in, Obama wanted him to be there anyway. Before they rigged him in 2015, you know what that criminal Bola Ahmed Tinubu, what he did? He went abroad, hired some PR firms, public relations firms, and started the image laundering of Buhari from a crude brute, a brutal dictator to a reformed Democrat. Go and read all the articles in Guardian of London, The Economist, and Newsweek. They'll tell you he's a reformed Democrat. Where are we today? The same thing they're now doing. What they have done is to go and pay some people in The Economist, pay some people all over the place to be writing, we are saying that you lost Abakari, he was a good man. Ordinary chief of staff. Ask yourself why they're going to that length. It is to divert your attention away from what really matters. To divert your attention away from the fact that people are dying. That is what is happening. And it's not good. Now, listen very carefully. The lies they have taken to a new and very dangerous level. They said that Abakari was buried in Abuja is a lie. He was not buried in Abuja. As I told you, his body was cremated. In Cuba, in Havana, his body was cremated because he had COVID-19. That was what killed him. His body was cremated, not buried in Abuja. They are ashamed because in Islam, they don't cremate. They bury the body whole so they can receive their 76 virgins in heaven. So they believe that if you're cremated, your virgins will not be in heaven waiting for you. So out of shame, listen carefully, out of shame on the part of the Janjaweed cabal, you know what they did? They killed somebody. They shot somebody dead. Shoved the person into a coffin, wrapped him in white cloth and buried him in Abuja. Let me show you. Please, Amaka, release that very clip on the wall, on my Facebook wall, so that the world can see it. It wasn't shot by us. Somebody shot it. And I want to play for you what the guy said, so you can hear it. Abakari was not buried there. You can see blood. In the coffin, you can see blood. In the casket, I don't know what they call it in Islam. You can see blood. Look at the way they threw the body away. As if it's just an animal. Look at it and tell me that is Abakari. Let me play that the world may know what is going on.
Why was it that after he was removed from the casket,
listen,
at the same position where his head was laid, there was blood?
There was blood.
How?
Look at it. There was blood.
Fresh blood from the back.
Fresh blood from the back of the head of whoever they buried.
It was trapped and soaked the casket.
Yes. Blood. They are lying to all of you.
We all see, but we look differently. Nigerians are not as stupid as politicians wish us to be.
Most are stupid anyway. Look at them, they're not doing it. Look at the casket. Look at the blood inside it. Can you see the blood in the casket? Amaka, I hope you have released it. Can you see the blood inside the casket?
Fresh blood.
Fresh blood inside the casket.
Somebody killed
They killed somebody.
Coronavirus.
They killed somebody.
Was bruised.
They killed somebody. They killed somebody and put the person in the grave.
He was shot by the virus.
The virus doesn't carry a gun. Does coronavirus carry a gun?
Casket of Abakia.
There's blood in the casket, or where the head is supposed to be. There is blood. The casket, blood, fresh blood. But I told you live on air. I told you before the burial. I told you the man is dead. He was cremated. Some people, they love to doubt me for the sake of doubt. I don't know why. Anything I tell you is gospel from heaven. You cannot go wrong. If you go by whatever I tell you, you cannot go wrong. I told you, he was cremated. His body was burnt. He was diseased. His body was burnt. In Islam, he cannot make heaven. And because of that, they are lying. Because of that, they are deceiving themselves. Because of that, they are deceiving all of you. They want you to believe something that did not happen. And some of you childishly bought it. That is why I call Nigeria a zoo. That is why I call those who inhabit it zoo animals. You have eyes but you cannot see. You have brain but you cannot reason. Look at the casket again. Look at the video once again. You will see the blood very clear. It is very fresh. You will see how they threw the body out very quickly and washed it into a very shallow grave. Coronavirus doesn't come with gun, AK-47, no. Whoever they buried, they shot the person in the head. And as I said before, are you sure it is not Shibanjo? There's something called in Yoruba called Abubaku. You know that when a king dies, they kill somebody to go with the king. Are you sure it's not what has happened there? Very, very sad indeed. Very, very sad indeed. Very, very sad indeed. In order to cover, anytime that something comes out, in order to cover their lies. That was why I published a set of pictures. And please, I can republish those pictures. 3 different men they have given to Aisha. Three men. Anytime they say, this one is going to play Buhari today, they give that one to Aisha. She will come out with that one. After acting their movie, they go back. The next week, they'll bring another one. Because it's a very tiring business to be pretending to be somebody you're not. I posted the pictures on my wall. Three men, different men. They put makeup on their face to look like Buhari. They say, Aisha, come here. Okay, follow him out. And that's the nonsense they've been doing to all of you. You have eyes, but you cannot see. You have eyes, but you cannot see. Very sad indeed. ECOWAS leaders, they claim appointed Buhari. It's a lie. They didn't appoint him anything. Nobody appointed nobody. Ask them to show you the clip. It was televised. Are they discussing the invasion of Brazil? Are they discussing how they're going to fight aliens? It's not about COVID-19. Every country in the world does in the open. We say here that is that something strategic about the meeting that it cannot be shared with the public. Show us who nominated Buhari. Show us who seconded the nomination. Show us his acceptance speech. On that, every of their lie is exposed. Because nothing like that happened. Absolutely nothing like that happened. They are deceiving you, they are lying to you, and they are using Yoruba media to do it. I want, please, Amaka, Chinas, I want this thing to be tweeted this night into tomorrow. We are going to ask every ECOWAS head of state. The man you're looking at in the camera, did he have a hole in the neck? Because the one they've been giving to us before, on whose performance you agreed to make the coordinator for ECOWAS, that one had a hole in his neck. The one you're looking at now, does he have a hole in his neck? We are going to ask ECOWAS heads of state. Prepare the tweet. We'll ask them. You must go and you follow us and you tweet. You just simply retweet. And it's resonating. It's resounding everywhere, all over the world. They are panicking. They are panicking. As I said, I went to ECOWAS website. And you know what they did? in ECOWAS. Once they know we started hitting them left, right, and center, you know what they did? They pulled documents down. ECOWAS server can no longer be reached. Are you aware of that? That is the power of IPOB, the power of Radio Biafra, the might, the heavenly might of IPOB. We asked ECOWAS, show us the video, and inside ECOWAS right now, they pulled the link of the communique. It is no longer there. Now they know that Buhari is dead. Now they know whoever is there is an impostor. He's a fraud. They know they have been lied to. You cannot reach ECOWAS server now. Go to Google and you type in ECOWAS communique. You will see it there. It will come up. Type in ECOWAS communique. You will see it there. Meeting held by heads of government on 22nd of April. Click on it. It won't open. I saw it before. That was how I know they made him a champion. It was highlighted in bold, in italics. Champion, not a coordinator. Now we have said to ask. That is why the zoo is afraid of IPOB. That's why they are frightened of Nnamdi Kanu. They are scared. My God, they're terrified. And as I told them, I said to Elohim, I'm not taking your glory, please, but allow me to gloat for a bit. God is the one destroying Nigeria, we know. Allow me to gloat a bit. When I said that I will destroy the zoo, it has been destroyed. There is nothing there. If we can compel ECOWAS to retract their statement, that means we are formidable. It's a lie. The zoo is a lie. A bunch of liars. They can deceive Alemaji. Yoruba can use their media to deceive themselves. You cannot deceive Biafrans. We are, by nature, we are intelligent. People say, where is their brain? Your friend, yes. Biafrans follow me. Do you know why? Biafrans have two things that others don't have. The ability to reason and love of the truth. Love of the truth. That was why in Igbo parlance you have a Eziokwu Bondo. Once you speak the truth, our people will love you to heaven and back. That's who they are. They just love the truth. That's all. There is no miracle. There is no money. You don't need to motivate them. Speak the truth and they will love you. They are like the God you see on this earth. That's one thing about them. That is why they love me. That is why they love IPOB. If you don't know, let me tell you. I speak the truth always. Always. Now, when I tell them Asarok is empty, do you believe me? ECOWAS now knows that there is nobody in Asarok. ECOWAS, their website is no longer reachable. Do you know why? Because of IPOB and Nnamdi Kanu. ECOWAS is also on the run. Because we asked them, why are you supporting evil? ECOWAS ran. I said, oh, we didn't know. Error establishing a database connection. Go and Google ECOWAS, they have run away. In their next life, they will not play with IPOB. We are exceptional. When we say we are the children of light, the children of heaven, you better believe it. If I tell that the zoo is gone, it is gone. Write it down, it is gone. There is nothing called Nigeria anymore. Those who are in power are now the governors. There is no Nigeria. There is no president. There is no vice. Nigeria is gone. So that in your next life, if you hear Nnamdi Kanu, you will know that you are blessed. You know that you are blessed. They are opposing ECOWAS, and I'm sure even if you ask the chief editor of the Economist, they will deny that rubbish. They wrote about Abakari. Because people look at me, I am not a journalist. I am not. When I begin to analyze the rubbish they wrote about me, I will tell you how we began. I am not a journalist. But I ask questions. I asked ECOWAS, how come you are allowing somebody with a hole in the neck to claim that he's Buhari? And they went to their website, they quietly took off the communique. So I now want to ask the idiots that published it, all the editors that published that nonsense. So where did you get your information from? Oh, some additional told you. You didn't verify? You didn't verify? Next time, they won't mess with us. They will not mess with us. ECOWAS is on the run. ECOWAS is on the run. So ECOWAS has run away because they've not seen the truth. that Nigeria is a den of liars and deceitful human beings, a den of liars and deceivers. Somebody from Yoruba, a small boy from Yoruba land, is sitting down inside Facebook writing algorithms, how to reduce and suppress people, number of people following me, those who can participate in my program. Oh, this week they've allowed us to go up to maybe 15,000 before coming down again. So a human being, tomorrow he'll say he's an intellectual. That's how they behave. I fight. If you want us to be very reasonable and very polished, fine. You want us to speak Queen's English, I'm all for it. You want us to go into the gutter and use broken to squash ourselves, and if before you come into the gutter, I'm already there waiting for you. And inside, we go into the sewage and we play it deaf if that's how you want it. The zoo is gone. We have destroyed the zoo. It's gone. Don't be upset. I don't want to take the glory that belongs to God. God gets all the glory. Allow me, please. I want to gloat a little bit. I told them I will destroy them with the truth. No bullet yet, oh. That may come later on. No bullet yet. I said I will destroy Nigeria from this pulpit of truth. And it's done. You have no president. Now, even ECOWAS have discovered that you're a bunch of liars. And they have deleted the nonsense that they wrote, calling it a communique. Go and look for it as you can. It is no longer there. It's gone. And now, they are not going to fight again. ECOWAS, please, it's also in Abuja. Put it back. No, the time is on the air. He's telling the people now that you removed it. Put it back on again. That's what they're going to do. Better we've done it. You have seen there is no link to it. It's a lie. It is a lie. Bloody criminals. And some people are doubting me that Nigeria has a government. How can they can't be saying this? I now want to bring you the latest from inside Asorok. That there is nobody there. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Zoo is gone. And I will never stop thanking Elohim. You see, every day, I remember when I went to Jerusalem, I went to the wall, to the temple built by Solomon, built by King Herod. I went there to pray and I keep saying to God in heaven. They said, what do you want? I said, I want Biafra. I want nothing else in life. Only Biafra. I don't mind if I sleep outside. I don't need a house. I don't need a car. I need nothing. Just give me Biafra only. And you've done it for me. I said, okay, go, I'll give you Biafra. It's going to be very tough, but I'll give it to you. Remain on the path of truth, and today the zoo is gone. The zoo has collapsed. It has fallen, never to rise again. Because it is gone. How do you know it is gone? There's a saying in Igbo language, the one will tell you to use your tongue to count your teeth. We want to use our tongue tonight to count our teeth. And listen very, very carefully, please. Listen carefully. Remember that meeting that they said the governors had with Jubril. They called him Buhari. And I came to on air and I talked about it. You know what it is? They have changed their tune now. They have changed. Hey! How about they have changed completely. It was no longer Buhari they spoke to. This is the entire governors of the Federation coordinating on COVID-19, how to feed people, how to manage their various emergencies. Hey! Do you know how I knew, the day I knew that there was absolutely, that there actually nobody inside Sorok? Well, how was the way that Wike spoke? I knew. You know we have sense. Once Wike spoke, I said, it's over for the zoo. If there anyone there, he wouldn't have spoken that way. That governor's meeting, this is somebody they want to make us believe that ECOWAS appointed him as the coordinator. He could not even coordinate his own governors. Because according to this letter, written to Boss Mustafa, not written to the vice president, not written to the president, given the seriousness, given the national importance of this intervention program, it was not even chaired by the president, it was chaired by the vice, they claim. And the letter was written, that's so stupid. The letter was addressed to Boss Mustafa, an ordinary secretary to the government, about a government intervention plan. Governors are writing to the secretary to the government. Hey! man. Hey! Zoo! Who did this to you people? I keep asking you, which school did you go to? Where did you study your own government? Where? Let me read the letter for you. This is the letter that confirms there's nobody in Asarok. It's just a confirmation letter. That there is nobody there. Let us use our teeth to our tongue to count our teeth, please. Listen carefully. This letter came from the Nigeria Governors Forum. I don't know if you have it, please circulate it. If you have this letter and want it circulated, I need it to be on my wall. I want it to be on every platform, please. Hey, I want it everywhere. This is the proof, complete proof. There's nobody there. They are marking time. And COVID-19 is not relenting. Most of them are down. I said most of them are down. They will never rise up again. You watch and see. I said to them, give me Biafra. They said no. They locked me up. Give me Biafra. They said no. We'll kill you. Give me Biafra. They said no. You're terrorists. We're going to do all we can to extradite you. They're talking rubbish, of course. And I said to them, if you do not give me Biafra, Somalia will be better. I am sure even Somalia, as far as they are, what people are passing through now in Kanu, they're not passing through it. That was why El Rufai packaged a few diseased Almajiri and sent them to Enugu, so that we can also feel the pain. They were planning to reduce the population of Biafra. When I was in prison, they said yes, when they offered me 5 states, you can take the 5 states. One came to me, yeah, you can take it, but we'll make sure that your population is reduced. Now, you see what God is doing? I'm not happy that anyone is dying anyway. God knows I'm not happy. I hate to see people suffer. I've been through bereavement. I don't want to see anybody go through that. But when you plan against Biafra, this Biafra is under God, not under any flesh. That is why we call Chukwukika Biamara the supreme of the supreme. We don't go through anybody. We go to God direct and say, we are your children. Let your will be done. And he said, go, and I'll show you my will. And it's not happening. There is no government in the zoo. And they're also dying. There is this letter, Nigeria Governors Forum. The secretary is 51 Lecture Crescent, Maitama in Abuja. They are right. Governors of Nigeria is addressing the letter to secretary to the government. You know, people who are not well informed, people who are not well lettered, people who are not of a sound or sane mind will tell you, it doesn't matter, but it's the secretary. I now challenge you to show me any letter in America that operates a similar system where the Governors Forum in America ever wrote to anybody in the White House apart from addressing the President of the United States of America. Show me anywhere in the world that you have states addressing a letter to a president, head of state, a letter of national importance, a letter of national urgency, a letter that should convey the very dire situation of the citizens of that very country, and they're addressing the letter to an ordinary secretary to the government and the chairman, Presidential Task Force on COVID-19. A letter of national importance when heads of state come out every day to let the world know how they are coping. Let's read the letter so you understand what I'm saying. That's what I'm empty. COVID-19 protocol. Nigeria Governors Forum impute on the proposed presidential intervention. Nigerian governors are writing to the president, but there's no president, so you have to send it to Boss Mustafa. The man that I told you a few days ago is the one actually making policy pronouncements. Remember I said it? When did I broadcast? That was on Wednesday. I said on Wednesday. This man should, I don't know that he's even gone further. He is now Abba Kyari's replacement, albeit on interim basis. Let's continue. I'm now reading the letter, please. Listen very carefully. Please refer to the above subject matter and to our teleconference meeting with the Vice President on Wednesday, 2nd of April 2020, that they had a meeting with the Vice President. But initially when that meeting was going on, the governors were saying that they're having a meeting with the President. Now that they now know that ECOWAS has pulled the rug from underneath them, they have now changed. It is now Vice President. Let's accept and proceed. Recall at that meeting, it was agreed that the Nigeria Governors Forum articulates the issues that it would want to be included in the next presidential pronouncement on COVID-19 so as to have a uniform and coordinated policy on COVID-19 at both the national and subnational levels. Subject to Mr. President's approval, oh dear Lord, writing to head of state, even anybody in the UK can write to Boris Johnson direct. They can give it to whoever. You can write number 10 Downing Street. When you're writing a letter to Her Majesty the Queen, you can just say Queen Elizabeth R, which means in her reign, and then they can give it to whoever to open and then to respond to you. I can't understand it. Governors meeting on a matter of national importance and emergency, and they're addressing the letter to a boss Mustafa to plead with the president. Have you heard of such rubbish before? Only in the zoo. Only in the damnable zoological republic. We have sunk them. Let us continue. Subject to Mr. President's approval, the governors want the following incorporated into whatever speech he's going to make. When was this letter written? Of a national... Listen, I want to speak in Igbo. Listen very carefully. You know, this very ancient language keeps coming all the time. It's the language of heaven, and I'm in the spirit. So it is when sometimes I speak the very language of heaven, the language that the angels speak before God. This letter was written on the 24th, a letter of national emergency. Today is the 26th. As they say, a week is a long time in politics. It's been over 48 hours. There is no movement. Nobody is telling us when somebody is coming live or even recorded to address all these issues. And there are people dying in Kano. And nobody is saying anything. 150 died, they said nothing. Now over 800 is dead. Nobody is saying anything. Because the zoo has no government. There is nobody there. It's just now, it's like 419, Yahoo. Let us throw a letter now to IMF. Or send off a letter to World Bank. Let's see who will form Mugu and send us the money. But they are mistaken. Tomorrow morning, my letter will be all over the world. I have asked them not to give Nigeria any money. Because if you give money to Nigeria, they will steal it. If you give money to Nigeria, those that need it will not receive it. They will steal it and they will run away because there is no government. I'm sure now they're crying. But that's exactly what's going to happen. Nobody there. And anybody who approves the loan from Africa Development Bank, from World Bank, or from IMF, I know that person is getting a kickback. Because there is no way, there is absolutely no way the zoo can survive this. No way. They're talking about interstate lockdown, overnight curfews, internal free movement, all the rest of it. Until now, nothing has happened. They held a meeting with the vice president. The letter was addressed to the secretary to the government. So I keep asking myself, if you don't find or have a president in a time of national emergency, when are you going to have him then? But this is the man who is coordinating, we are told, in the whole of West Africa. You cannot coordinate, you can't even chair a meeting. Because I told you, remember, the one in Aso only wears a mask to deceive you. He cannot speak. Always have that in your mind. He cannot speak. That's what is happening. And that is why the zoo has fallen and will continue to collapse. They say that Nigeria is the giant of Africa, the most populous country in Africa, the giant of black nation. Rubbish. Let me tell you what they did not, zoo papers did not tell you. Do you know that the world had a meeting of heads of state representing regions and countries all over the world? Now, if at all Jubril, that idiots are calling Buhari, if he was appointed as the regional coordinator, why was he not at this meeting? Please, Amaka, publish the photos and the video of that very meeting, shared by the World Health Organization chairman, or president, I don't know what they call him, Gabriels. He shared it. In that very clip, you will see presidents that are recognized in Africa. You will see the Rwandan president, Kagame. You will see the South African president. They were there. But you claim you are the giant of Africa. Giant by mouth. And it won't just make him mouth giant. They call ordinary Rwanda. Rwanda of yesterday. That is to tell you that anywhere you have Fulani Janjaweed, you can never have progress in life. As long as Fulani is in power. That was what Gideon Walker saw in 1990. Once they are there is no progress. Write it down on a piece of paper. And tomorrow they will tell you, oh, we want to, it's our turn again now. We want to retain the power in the north. Look at your life, how miserable it is. In that very Zoom they had, you can see all the heads of state. You can see Kagame, ordinary Rwanda. You can see, because everybody now knows that Buhari is dead and Jubilee has run away. He is refusing to come back. They wanted to send him a jet to come and bring him back, and he said he's not coming. I don't know if he's going to seek asylum in Cuba. I don't know. But we are monitoring that very situation. We are monitoring it. The zoo has gone, collapsed, gone completely. Finished. Infinito. It's gone. Look at world powers holding a meeting. World powers, there is no Nigeria. It's only by mouth. Most populous nation is a black power. Rubbish, you are nothing. You have exposed your stupidity. Only 4 years of Fulani government. It took them only 4 years to destroy everything. And tomorrow, an idiot from Fulani land will say, I want the president of Nigeria. And the Yoruba media will be running around trying to write for them and work for them. Because people are hungry. Very sad indeed. We must proceed very, very speedily. Very, very speedily. And then to add it again. Let me pour gasoline on the fire. Because I want to prove to you, beyond every conceivable doubt, that Asorok is empty. I want to play for you a clip by their first lady, Aisha. And we are still using our tongue to count our teeth. Don't forget that. We are still engaging our brain. Don't forget your brain. Don't allow yourself to be distracted by what the irats may be saying. Use your brain. We want once again to use our tongue to count our teeth. We are going to listen to Aisha. And after listening to Aisha, you will tell me if there is a president in Nigeria or not. Listen very carefully, please. Listen.
As we did not buy votes, we form a government.
Yes.
The government that have overthrown an incumbent.
Yes.
For the first time in the history of Nigeria.
Yes. Listen.
Afterwards, we're expecting to have a teamwork.
A teamwork.
We had a bit of teamwork, but it wasn't full. All the achievements that have been listed for the past 1 month, people have been singing the songs of achievements. We will have achieved that within 1 year of the administration.
Are you listening?
But
are you people listening? This was the 4th year of the administration. She is saying that everything that they achieved within 4 years could have been achieved within the first 1 year. And you are telling me that the husband is alive. You are telling me that the husband is alive. She's saying that there is nobody. They have hijacked Asorok. That is what Aisha Buhari is saying from her own mouth, her own words. And some of you still think that we are stupid. You think we are dumb.
That hinders a collective teamwork that we have started.
Teamwork! A woman in Africa talking about teamwork when her husband is head of state. Who is that woman? Who are you? It's not done anywhere in Africa. Maybe in Europe or elsewhere. A woman talking about teamwork. Her husband's presidency. It is teamwork. Telling Abakiari when he was alive and Garibashew that chased her from her quarters in Asorok. And some of you are still hopelessly thinking that rubbish there is Buhari. I weep for you. I weep for your ignorance. I weep for your stupidity. A woman in Africa, a Muslim woman, Islam talking about teamwork when her husband is alive. Are you deranged? They will take you to the back of the house and they will slaughter you like a ram. That is why you see her with different men all the time. Because you people are blind. That is why they can bury somebody that was shot dead and dripping blood and tell you Zabakari and you believe them. May God have mercy upon your ignorance. Some of you are so useless, it's untrue. Oh, God forbid. God forbid. This is the evil that Channels TV and Punch and the rest of the Nigerian media have been hiding from you. They cover the truth from you. They make you blind. People read newspapers to be able to advance their understanding of current issues. In the zoo, you read a paper and they blind you even more. They blind you. Chineke manamabara. Zoological Republic. Even the media. Nobody is safe. Judiciary is corrupt. Media is bad. Government is evil. Pastors are criminals. Everywhere is bad. That is why they think you're like them. That is why they think Nnamdi Kanu is like them. That I serve my people for something because of money. You're insane. I will demolish you in a short while. This is the evil that the zoo have been covering. That is why they keep going back to World Bank. They go to IMF. They go to always asking for loan after loan after loan. That is the idiot that will be in charge of ECOWAS COVID response. Unbelievable. People think we are daft, but we are not daft and can never ever be. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. And there's something I want you to distribute this evening. Go and look for the Chinas and put it everywhere, please. Put it everywhere. There is a video. It's called Buhari Performs Lesser Hajj. Buhari performs lesser Hajj. Ever since Buhari came out of detention. This is Buhari, the dead Buhari. Are you listening? He was in Saudi Arabia performing lesser Hajj with the wife Aisha when he was alive. And do you know the funniest thing? Surprise. The last time that any Buhari, a man, performed any Hajj, be the big one or the small one, was in the year 2016. The last time President Buhari performed any Hajj in Saudi Arabia was in 2016. From 2016 till now, there have been no Hajj performed by somebody they say is Buhari. And now he's looking younger, he's looking lighter, he's looking fitter. If Buhari can go to if Buhari can go to Hajj when he was a rickety old man, how come now that he's a fine bobo, very young, very fresh, he can no longer go? Does that make sense to you? Buhari was a very deeply religious man. In a bad way, that is. He went to Hajj every blessed year of his life. Every blessed year. Only the 3 years he was in detention he was locked up by Bangida. Always going on Hajj. Now do you see? When was the last time Buhari performed any Hajj? 2016. When did Buhari die? January 17th, 2017. Since then, no more Hajj. Be it big Hajj or the small one. And do you know why there's been no Hajj? The only person who can speak is Jubril al-Sudani. But he is not a Wahhabi Muslim. Listen carefully to me. They'll be going mad right now. He is not a Wahhabi Muslim. Wahhabi is the strand of Muslim. You have Shia, you have Alawi, you have Wahhabi, you have all these different strands of Islam. The same way you have sects in Christianity. You have Protestant, you have the Catholicism, and you have the same way it is in Islam. They're not one as you think sometimes. Do you know that Jubril is not a Wahhabi and he doesn't know how to pray the Wahhabi prayers? Now please, Amaka, look for the picture of, or anybody that has it, look for the picture taken in a mosque of Bukola Saraki, the emir of Kanu Sanusi, and the thing that they call Buhari sitting down on the floor, Jubril. You will see the way he was handling the Islamic chaplet. He's not correct. They look at him as if he was mad. Look at it very carefully. Oh, Zoo Alagoni. Zoo is gone. Zoo is gone. The zoo is gone. Completely gone. Gone and gone and gone. Zoo is gone. The zoo is gone. I don't know what is wrong. We are trying to get some of our stuff working. For some reason, it stopped working and we want to get it back before some people get cut off. Before some people are cut off, we want to get this thing done, please. You must bear with me. You have to bear with me. I don't know what is wrong with it. I don't know why it went off. I think it's back on again. I believe that it is back on again. It's back on again. Ask yourself that question. Go and look at that picture very well. You will see two of them looking at Jubril. Jubril does, I don't know what they call that Islamic chaplet. I've forgotten the name, what they call it. Islam, they copied Roman Catholicism. Are you aware of that? How many of you actually know that Islam came after Christianity? After Catholics, they came and they copied it. They even, the rosary you used to pray. That bead you used to pray in Roman Catholic. That's something they use in Islam. Because Muhammad copied it verbatim. And so then Angel Gabriel told him, go and check it, you will see it there. The same rosary, Islam, let me call it Islamic rosary. Islamic rosary they used to pray. Go and look at how Jubril was handling it. He was not handling it very well. He wasn't. And they were looking at him in horror, in shock. Thinking, what is he just doing here? To tell you that Buhari is no more. The last Hajj was in 2016. The last year that Buhari, he saw 2017, yes. And then I went to court. And I told him what God said I should tell him. And he died. He fell down. I was in court. He was watching a live feed of me appearing in court. God gave me a mission. God spoke to me. That she showed him the word of God. That if once he will collapse, he will never get up again. When I told DOS, they didn't believe me. Go and ask anybody in DOS. They drafted the letter. They sent it. I said, God said he must see. The book of Exodus. Once he sees it, he will collapse. He will not get up again. I was in prison. I got a revelation. And I did exactly as God told me. He was watching me live. On the 17th of January of 2017, I was in court. He was watching the live feed. Once he saw the word of God, he collapsed. Went into a coma. And died at King's Hospital in London. Never recovered till this very day. They don't know who they're playing with, do they? They are mad. Go and ask them when he collapsed. He was looking at me and he collapsed. Go and ask and they will tell you. Who ordered the raid in my house? Was it not Abakari who ordered the raid in my house? Watch what will happen to all of them, one after the other. Watch and see what will happen to them. That they may know that this God I worship, Chukwukika Biama, is indeed supreme. I don't go through anybody, to God direct. Because this very mission he gave to me. The last Hajj was performed in the year 2016. Since then there is none. Maybe tonight they'll start running around trying to put something together. They will try to lie to you. They'll start editing video now, this night. Let them edit and bring it out. I will dissect it live on air. I told them. They should have listened to Bishop Injila. They should have listened to him. You should have negotiated and given me Biafra when I asked you to give me Biafra. When you gave me 5 states and I said no. Give me Biafra and I will go. If the rest decide to stay with you, that is your business. Allow me to have a referendum and you said no. And God said he will destroy you. And today you are destroyed completely beyond recognition. That you may know that this God that we worship is indeed supreme. I said, Nigerians, just what I said was going to happen to you. And I'm saying to Yoruba media, channel sponge, regardless of the conspiracy, it doesn't matter what you do, regardless of how hard you want to try to cover up evil, you can never succeed. You can never succeed. This Biafra has come to stay. You can't do anything about it. Instead of Biafra not to come, believe you me, God will destroy every ethnicity in Nigeria. Every ethnic group will go down. Write it down on a piece of paper. That you don't know. So that the day we raise their flag, everybody will worship God. That's what we want. Everybody will worship Him. That you may know. Evil is everywhere. But are we not winning? We are winning. The last Hajj was performed in 2016. Go and publish the pictures of people complaining in Kano. People are complaining. There is no food. In the midst of hunger, there is a pandemic. A very deadly combination. And who are the people responsible for the state of affairs in Nigeria today? It is Fulani cabal. Fulani rule. Fulani. They know nothing. They pretend they know something. Their brains are empty. And instead of Yoruba to tell their Fulani masters what you're doing is wrong, it will not work. They say, oh no, Ejosa. Trying to cheat the Igbos. That's what they're doing. How do we cheat them? That's all. And when they were thinking on how to cheat us, God in heaven had other plans. And that plans is being made manifest now. That then they know that IPOB is something else. Now they will know. Now the people are protesting everywhere. People are dying and they're also protesting. A very perfect ground for the spread of a pathogen, and it's happening now. That's why we pray for Kano. People are going to die, and as I told you, they will. Don't bring in the Chinese. They say, even now the Kano, he talks too much. He's on the air all the time. He's talking. But I warned you, do not allow the Chinese to come in. If you see them in your community, drive them away. If you see you people are going to die, you will die. I'm telling you. This is where they boil a cat alive. And the cat is alive and they're eating it. Okay, you will see. It seems you don't know. Yoruba must change their ways. They must change their ways. They must change their ways. Because if they don't change their ways, they're going to suffer. When I get to what I have to say later on, then I will add a few things to it. Because right now people are dying also in Yoruba land. Do you know why they're dying? Remember a few months ago, I keep saying you remember. How do you remembering? A few months ago I told you that the Fulani can never ever arrest their own and keep that person in jail. I told you that. After a few days, 50 Boko Haram standing trial in Bauchi, or is it in Gombe? Rubbish. And I also warned all of you, the reason why they send to you Fulani police commissioner is to control you. It is to control you. But when I tell you about it, they say, oh, he insulted Nigerians. He's rude and insulting. He should be talking like a statesman. It is people talking to you like a statesman. That is why you don't have any water. That is why Fulani are killing you. Nobody can talk. That is why you have no good rules. That is why hunger is wilding everybody every blessed day. Because you prefer cosmetics to substance. I tell you the truth, so you can repent both inside and outside. Repentance is more important. If you don't know. Now listen, this is from Ondo Monarch, Ondo State. From a traditional line Ondo State, published by the same Punch, the Gota Punch paper. It's the Yoruba news, so I will read it. Police have always released any headsmen arrested for attacking us in Ondo. Now I ask Yoruba, why are you supporting Fulani regime? Why? This is your monarch. A Yoruba monarch is complaining. Every time we arrest them, give them to the police, they always come back. This man is Oba Williams Akin Yemiju. He is the Olugushin of Igushin town in the Akure North local government area of Ondo State. He gave an interview. We arrest them, they attack us, they kill us. We don't want to kill them, we are peaceful. We tell them to police will release them because they are Fulani killers. And when I tell politicians in America that police, army, and that they are working together, they say, oh no, it's they're looking for water to drink for their cattle. Ondo Monarch. Not IPOB, not news from Biafra, from Yoruba land. And then I ask Yoruba, why are you supporting Fulani? I ask you. Why are you supporting them? You want your people to be dead as well? You want your people to die? Is that what you want? Is that what you want? Fulani people are everywhere killing. Imagine if it were Ipob people. Imagine if it were Biafran people killing. Imagine if it were to be a job. Or if you're killing people, what would they say? What would the world say? They will kill all of us. Even those in America, they will kill everybody. But here, all we do is we complain. COVID-19, herdsmen, terrorists, kidnapping, killing. Where are they killing? In Benue. They are killing in Delta. They are killing in Southern Kaduna. Huriwa, which is the Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, alerts Buhari. Which Buhari are you alerting? The one in Saudi Arabia in a grave? Or the one with a hole in the neck in Cuba? Or the one that even the governors cannot see? Okay, address a letter to address a boss Mustafa. Maybe you get audience. Do you see how bad Nigeria is? They are now the killing of people is no longer news. It's nothing. They are killing us, kidnapping and killing in Benue. Nothing. Benue, are you not the people that they lied to and said Biafra is your problem? Delta, are you not our own Biafra that they came to you and said, oh, you're not Biafra, you're Niger Delta? Has he stopped them from killing you? Has he stopped them from killing you? Repent. That is the essence of this program. All of you must repent. If you don't even apologize, time is not now. It's not right for apologies. Later on, you can apologize. Right now, you must repent. Yoruba must look at themselves and say, from today, enough is enough. This Fulani nonsense is too much. But of course, they have Yoruba Muslim in Kwara. That is the problem we have. Those ones, they will never change. That is the only problem they have. How they can overcome it, I have no idea. They should try. They should try and overcome it. We are live and we are direct. The time now is 19 minutes past the top of the hour. The whole world is listening. 19 past 9 in the evening. Let me preach the gospel of heaven. People are saying that their data is running out. Let it run out. We are preaching the gospel sent from heaven. That's what we are doing here. And they're setting the zoo. That the world may know that they are nothing. They're a bunch of criminals. A bunch of criminals. And bumbling. It's not even the fact that they're stealing. The people stealing, they are useless. They don't know what to do with money. Now people like men and women, children are dying in Kanu. What can you do? Nothing. You are writing to Boss Mustafa when you have a president or a national emergency. Can you believe such rubbish? Only in the zoo. Only in the zoo. Buhari opened the south to pamper the north. Of course, it's Abakari. Now it's Boss Mustafa. They take everything from the south, they take to the north. Some people from the south will be supporting them. Yoruba media from the south will be supporting the north to enslave, to support terrorists, to kill, to pillage, to grab people's land, destroy farm produce, to bring in the Chinese to kill ordinary people. As people are hating politicians, hate Yoruba media, they are even worse. They are the ones encouraging them. Tomorrow you see them speaking English they cannot even understand. Trying to appear like CNN, trying to be like CNN. As evil, even more evil than CNN. Covering up the work of Lucifer. That's what one day they will get it. The thing happening in Yoruba is undone when I cannot crying. Did I know when they will come for you? Did you believe me? You thought I did a deal with Fulani. Oh, you love my back, I love your back. As long as evils are not involved, don't open any other seaport in the east. Let's only use Lagos so we can make money. Yeah, those evils, yes. Now you're getting it. You cannot live your life through treachery and betrayal. It doesn't pay. Not with me, it does not pay. We don't support evil. I don't support evil. I don't believe in nonsense. If I see evil, I destroy it. I don't believe in evil. I do not believe in evil. Our bookie will be our bookie and they will always loot. That's what they know. How to steal. Money men like to steal. After you tell me economist rights, US government rights. Right to who? If you want, I can get the US Senate to write to me now. I can get it to write. Anybody can write to anybody. It's rubbish. They are using it to divert your attention. To make you feel that Abakari is a statesman. Without you asking, why are they writing about the chief of staff? who is in office. You don't know. Buhari is there. ECOWAS cannot see him. When ECOWAS realized their mistake, they went to their website. In fact, they even out of shame, they shut down their website, which has never happened before. Earlier today it happened. When I told them that you're messing up, this nonsense you're doing is a joke. COVID coordinator indeed. COVID coordinator. People are disgracing themselves. Abakari tried to clean up Nigeria. Clean up Nigeria with 13.9 billion. I'm asking economists, did he try to clean up with 13.9 billion? He was buying broom with it to clean up. All the money he stole from NNPC is to buy broom to sweep the whole place. People deceiving themselves. I'm sure Tony Blair will be disappointed with Fulani, how they have messed up everything. You know, they love the Fulani a lot because love to do rankadeda. That is what that type of stupid mentality they want to plant in our land with the likes of Hopus or them. You can't work with them. Don't work with them. Look at him bowing down before Alimajiri. You can see the picture of Hopus or them bowing down before a filthy Alimajiri. These are the people that used to beg in those days. When they go to market and they thought an Igbo woman in the north, they will go back and they will have party. They're asking them, oh, Aboki, why are you celebrating? He said, I thought I'm for Igbo woman today for market. I'm telling you. They will be having a street party that their body touched and that girl will cry for a week. That Aboki touched her body. These are the people that Hopus or them is bowing down. Hey! Well, because of money, power, and influence. Unbelievable. 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 And to tell you how wicked people are, they rise, they said, the Yoruba things that Fulani will love them. Fulani send them rotten rice. The same rice that this life is so funny, you know. You know, an Igbo businessman will suffer, struggle very hard, go abroad. Other Biafrans will come, go abroad and buy things and bring them back. They say you must come through Lagos. Yoruba customs and they'll come out, they will seize the rice. They will say, let us go and let us suffer them. We want to suffer them. We will burn their market. We will suffer them. You know the funniest thing? They seize the rice. Aboki was keeping the rice. Now there is hunger in the land. They have gone to where they stored the rice. Of course, it's expired because you need to keep rice at a particular temperature, in an aerated room and all the rest of it. That is the expired poisoned rice they're not giving to Yoruba to eat. See how strange life is. How bizarre this life is. So strange, honestly. The same rice now they're giving to Yoruba to eat. The same rice they stole from Igbo merchants that brought it in to sell it. They closed the border. They seized it. Now it has gone bad. Now they have sent it to Yoruba. And now they tell UN that this is part of the palliative they're sending, that they bought the rice. But it was lies that they stole from innocent importers. That is Nigeria for you. And I keep wondering, how can somebody wake up in the morning and say, I want to be a Nigerian? I don't understand it. I just can't. I can't fathom it. I can't understand. The rice they sent to Oyo, contaminated, and now the governors of the West are saying we no longer want it. We don't want to be a part of this nonsense. Absolutely rubbish. And now I'm going to deal very finally this evening with what they have written about me. I love it. I love this. It was written by a sophisticated moron. A Yoruba sophisticated moron. That is what one very clever man called them. I want to read everything line by line and I will respond. That's how I am. If you write good about me, I read it. If you write bad, I read it out on air. Here is what they said. That's about me, Nnamdi Kanu. He was a Yahoo boy walking around in the streets of London. Number one, that was a Yahoo boy. I don't know who I have stolen from. And I'm making a public announcement tonight to the whole world. If I've stolen from you before, please try and come out and tell the whole world where, when, and how. And I will now tell you the reason why they always do this. Because if you, in those days in Aba, when we used to chase criminals, if the criminal wants to confuse people, you know what the criminal will say? He will be saying, oh, Yoshi is a criminal. And the people are pursuing this thief. We will say, oh, Yoshi. The same thief will turn around and report it to somebody else and say, oh, Yoshi. Before you know it, he will join the crowd. You don't know who is the thief anymore. That's what the Yoruba does. That's what they do. And tonight, I want to let the world understand The reason why they do it because they are criminals. And I want to prove it to you that they are. Let us start with the latest one. And why the law forgery. You know all this Photoshop that Femi Adesina is doing. You know all the forgery that. Let me tell you where it started from. Remember there was somebody called Kemi Adeosun. Can anybody remember her? Oh, you have all forgotten. Hey, Zoo. Why won't you forget? You forget about Kemi Adeosun. You forgot that bumbling idiot that's finance minister. When she wants to be Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. She ran to London when she was discovered. What did she do? She forged the certificate. So, to all these Yoruba Irats, to them, everybody is like a Kemi Adeosun. So when they see you speaking the truth, you're a scammer, you're a criminal, you're a Yahoo boy. And I'm asking them, because when I push you, I'll show you where to land. Who have I scammed before in life? Where? How? When? That is none. But it's just to damage my name because they know that people don't read beyond the headlines. If they say, oh, maybe Nnamdi we should stop listening to him, we should stop following him, he's a Yahoo boy. Or they will think I will not read it. They don't know me very well. I will read everything you say about me and then I'll respond in kind. One, Kemi Adeosun is from where? A Yoruba woman. What did she do? Forged her way into office. She forged certificate. Because Oluwole is in Lagos. That's why they forged it. That was where they trained Femi Adesina to forge in forgery. She was as a forger of certificate. She made it all the way to finance minister. But people who are learned from Biafra land are all over the world. Nobody will call him to be a finance minister. No one. He's a forger. Kemi Adeosun is Yoruba. I'm reminding the Yoruba by writing this junk. I just want to, because the whole world is listening now, isn't it? I don't know the time. Where did I do Yahoo? Where to who? Where and when? Yeah, time, place. I'm giving you example. Those that you look up to Yoruba and they're criminals. I'm telling you now, the whole world is hearing me. You know me, I don't fear any mortal, and I don't mince words. Listen carefully. The second person, remember MKO Abiola Bashorun, the honor of Yoruba land. He was a criminal. He was a 419er. He was a forger. I'm saying it before the whole world. The person that you voted for, June 6th, I said June 99, I don't know what it is. You voted for him. Do you know why Babangida did not give him power? Because Babangida told him that you're a thief like me. You stole money like me. So all these things you're saying about corruption, repatriating money from America is all rubbish. He is a Yoruba man. His name is MKO Abiola. He was a criminal that you are celebrating. They have, only in this zoo, you have public holidays to celebrate somebody who was a thief. How did Abiola steal, you're asking me? Because as I said to Yoruba, if you're that kind of man, they can decimate you with facts and figures. Not your papa. No, I give you facts and I give you dates and I give you figures. There's a company called ITT International. These are the people that came to do work for Nitel in those days when they used to make telephone calls from phone booths. ITT International Telephone and Telecommunications. Fela even sang with this the thievery of MKO Abiola. Fela sang a song with it. This is the man that Yoruba intelligentsia is worshipping. He won the election, free affairs, but the man was a thief. But they won't tell you. The same way they covered up for Buhari, that was a brutal dictator, was how they covered up for Abiola. And what did Abiola do? They gave Abiola check when money had value. They gave Abiola check for the contract that he did. A check of 40 million naira. For the contract for ITT. Are you listening carefully? I hope the world is listening. For Yoruba to dare to call me Yahoo. If you know what I did, go on air and say it. I'm giving you facts. How some of your people that you worship, how they are criminals. Hey, they are shutting down Facebook now everywhere. Even where I was monitoring this thing from, they have cut it. They have now shut down I tell you, Yoruba is in Facebook. They are cut. They are disrupting. They are disrupting Facebook streaming on other platforms. You go to my page at Masinamdekan. You're very Hispanic in this night. Mad people. Mad. You want to insult me? Calling me Yahoo. Hey! I said, I will destroy you. MKR was a thief. International thief. That was what Fela called him. A rogue of international standard. Fela sang a song. International thief, meaning ITC, the company that Abiola owned and executed his contracts through. Contract to provide telecommunications across the whole of Nigeria. Money had value. He was paid 40 million naira. Do you know what this man did? I mean, when money had value. Abiola went to Oluwole, the same place that trained Femi Adesina. So when you see Femi Adesina with Photoshop pictures, don't get surprised, it's in their blood. I'll tell you what happened. Abiola went to Oluwole in Lagos, gave them the check that the government had given to him. The Federal Ministry of Communications gave to him. PRT in those days. Abiola forged and changed from 40 million to 400 million. He added the 000 until he got to 400 million. Go and ask anybody, any Yoruba man. Go and ask them. So the Abiola that they worshipped was a Yahoo man, was a fraudster, was a criminal. So therefore, whoever leads Biafra must also be a Yahoo person. Do you see how it is? And now the world knows that Abiola was a thief. The one he gave public holiday on June 12th. That is why sensible people don't celebrate it. Because he was a criminal. Abiola was like every other person in the zoo that's ever held power. Was a thief and a criminal. And now let me come to Chief Obafemi Awolowo. You think that you call him the camera Yahoo boy and I'll let you go free? I will hit you with facts and figures. Awolowo was also a thief and a criminal. I'm saying it loud and clear so who will hear. If you're wearing headphones, raise the volume so you can hear me very well. Chief Obafemi Awolowo was a criminal, 419 and Yahoo, and I will tell you why, how, when. Immediately the war started, Ojukwu released him from prison in Calabar. And you understand that he will go to Yorubaland and declare Dudua. He never did. On getting to Lagos, Gowon called him and gave him the vice chairman of the military ruling council. He accepted the only civilian in the history of Africa to hold such a position. A civilian vice president in a military regime. Never heard of. But Yoruba took. He took it, he wanted to spite the Igbos. That's why he took it. He took it. Despite his gentleman's agreement with Ojukwu. Now let me tell you what happened. He not only engineered the starvation, let's leave that to one side. Immediately after the war, he was also the finance minister. What he did was a classic Yahoo 419. Do you know what Awolowo did? Awolowo said to go on, please, in the interest of national cohesion and unity, let us suffer the Igbos more. Every money they have in the account, every Igbo man with money in the account, we are only going to give him 20 naira. 20 pounds. It doesn't matter if you're a millionaire. It doesn't matter if you're a trillionaire or billionaire. No. Immediately after the war, you go back to take your money from the bank, which is one of the greatest robberies of all time. Now you understand why I hate Ohaneze. Ohaneze never pursued this. A legitimate claim, they never pursued it. Because they went and they bribed some of them. As always. Awolowo took your money, or your family's money, because some of you listening are very young. Took my father's money. Took the money, impoverished us, everybody. It was a Yoruba man. Stole our money. Invested it in Old group of companies and the Dolu group of companies. Stolen money. Stolen money from the homes of Biafrans. Nearly 5 million killed, starved to the oblivion. He came back and he took our money. Nigeria never gave us anything. And we survived to, you can see how we are doing today, all over the world. I always stole that money and was waiting. You know what he did with it? Oh dear, these people. He was the one that advised Murtala Mohammed once Gowon was overthrown. He advised Murtala Mohammed that the best thing for them to do is to nationalize most companies in Nigeria. Most foreign companies. They did what was called indigenization policy. So every company, Shell had to go and register immediately as a Nigerian, as an unlimited liability company in Nigeria. Shell. You know what Awolowo did with the money he stole from Biafrans? He went and started buying shares in all those companies. So that every Biafran MD, every Biafran CEO, every Biafran CEO equivalent was sacked, removed. Yorubas took over the entire sector. They bought over Coca-Cola. In fact, he was making money from Coca-Cola. Every bottle of Coca-Cola sold in those days, he would get 1 kobo from it. That was where Obasanjo learned to also charge MTN 1 naira for every card sold before he gave them the contract. I don't want you to provoke me. You don't call me a criminal without providing proof. But if I call you a thief, I give you proof. Let's leave it there for now and proceed. We must proceed because what they said about me is plentiful and I want to bring it to the attention of the world. I want people to know. He went on to say that was something about on the story. I don't know where he got that from. If you are in England, I want you, there are a lot of people working with people called the social services. If you are home, nobody can be homeless in England. In the UK, you cannot be. These are people, when idiots write wrong reason, nobody is homeless unless you want to be. There is something called housing benefit. In other words, you will find a house and the government will pay for you. Nobody is a law in England, nobody can be homeless. That's number one. So there is no way I can be homeless. But let me even go further. For you to become homeless, you will apply for homeless payment. You apply for what is called the dole. You apply for social services help. I want these Yoruba people to go and ask their Yoruba brothers and sisters working inside social services in the whole of the UK, if my name has ever appeared there as somebody who is homeless or somebody looking for government help. Because I am a Biafran, we work hard from our mother's stomach. That's how you find. I'm not interested in, you said this, I said it. No, I'm giving you, if you want to do research as we do in Ipob, you go to the source and you do research. Ask any of the Yoruba people working with social service, what's it called now, this unemployment depot, what's it called, the job center. Go and ask them. Please, go and Google my name. Give them my full name. Ask them, please check. Has this man ever claimed benefits before? Why do you think the UK government respect me? Why do they respect me? Ask, has he ever claimed benefits before? Way before Biafra. Way before Ipob. And you see the answers they will give to you. You said he was working on the streets of London, that he was homeless. And I have hosted Chekwa Sokori in my house before. When Owazike was normal, I hosted him in my house before. I've hosted Chekwa Sokori twice in my house. When I was living in a flat and when I was living in a house. Ask Chekwa Sokori of UPP where he came to when he came to London. Have you been to see Nnamdi Kanu before? Did you eat in his house when he got there? How was his house? Chekwa Sokori will tell you before Ipob, before Radio Biafra. If they say that he was sacked by UNN, no, I left University of Nigeria and Soka because I'm not doing anything. I left of my evolution. Ask my father is no longer around. May so continue to rest in peace. I left for London to go and study. I came back home and I told my dad, if you don't send me to England, I will not go to school because UNN is not what you think it is. It's not a place fit for somebody like me. I am a thinker. I I think. I am a philosopher. I reason. As a soldier, I was not reasoning. Every time strike all over the place. I said, Robbie, what nonsense is this? I came back to my house and I said to my father, if you want me to be a graduate, send me to England. And he did. Because I traveled to England. They said that I was very poor. I only started breathing when Owaswike of Masop came to London. When did Owaswike come to London? When? 2009, Owaswike came. They said I was homeless, I was on the street, I was not doing it. I want to answer. Because the thing about me is that if you accuse me of something, I'll answer you publicly. When I accuse you, come out publicly to defend yourself. But the zoo cannot do it. They said I did not breathe until I was rejected to London in 2009. I was the APGA chairman in the whole of Europe and the UK in 2002. Fighting for Peter Obi then to become the governor of Anambra State. With the promise that APGA was going to be like Biafra. Of course, it never materialized. Are you listening to me? I was the chairman of APGA, the whole of Europe and United Kingdom. Are you telling me that somebody without pedigree, somebody without education, in a gathering comprising of all the people, both Biafrans and non-Biafrans, that I will emerge unopposed as the chairman of APGA in the whole of Europe? If I was homeless, where would I hold APGA meetings then? In my house? Where's what I'm going to meet in my house? So that, you know the right discussions on Facebook. People are coming. I decimate you live on air, so the world can hear, so the world will know. Let's continue. Owaswike came to England in 2009 on his way back from the US, where he went to go and buy a property. So he went to go and see Obama. Came to the UK. We started with Radio Biafra. Listen carefully. Write it down on a piece of paper, please, and go and ask him. When you meet Owaswike, you ask him, how many months did you found Radio Biafra? Then on shortwave, very expensive shortwave. And who was the company that was providing those services then? I can't forget. VT Communications. VT, just two letters. VT Communications. They're heavyweights in England, by the way. Owaswike, you founded Radio Biafra for only 3 months. April, May, June. We stopped broadcasting December of 2009. Write these things down. April, May, June. I, Nnamdi Kanu, paid for July, August, September, October, November, December. And I went bankrupt because shortwave then was very, very expensive. I paid, personally paid. When it finished December of 2009, we tried and tried and tried and tried. I went back home to go and tell Owaswike that this radio is very important. And why did he stop it? He stopped it because he felt that Radio Biafra was becoming very powerful. That's all. I revived myself. Thought I was dealing, of course, myself, they're very good people. It's just the leadership that was rotten to the core. And we left them. Never gave us anything. And we survived to, you can see how we are doing today, all over the world. I always stole that money. I was waiting. You know what he did with it? Oh dear, this people. He was the one that advised Murtala Mohammed once Gowon was overthrown. He advised Murtala Mohammed that the best thing for them to do is to nationalize most companies in Nigeria. Most foreign companies. They did what was called indigenization policy. So every company, Shell had to go and register immediately as a Nigerian, as an unlimited liability company in Nigeria. Shell. You know what Awolowo did with the money he stole from Biafrans? He went and started buying shares in all those companies. So that every Biafran MD, every Biafran CEO, every Biafran CEO equivalent was sacked, removed. Yorubas took over the entire sector. they bought over Coca-Cola. In fact, he was making money from Coca-Cola. Every bottle of Coca-Cola sold in those days, he would get 1 kobo from it. That was where Obasanjo learned to also charge MTN 1 naira for every card sold before he gave them the contract. I don't want you to provoke me. You don't call me a criminal without providing proof. But if I call you a thief, I give you proof. Let's leave it there for now and proceed. We must proceed because what they said about me is plentiful, and I want to bring it to the attention of the world. I want people to know. He went on to say that I was talking about on the story. I don't know where he got that from. If you are in England, I want you, there are a lot of people working with people called the social services. If you are home, nobody can be homeless in England. In the UK, you cannot be. These are people, when idiots write on reason, nobody is homeless unless you want to be. There is something called housing benefit. In other words, you will find a house and the government will pay for you. Nobody is a law in England, nobody can be homeless. That's number one. So there is nobody can be homeless. But let me even go further. For you to become homeless, you will apply for homeless payment. You apply for what is called the dole. You apply for social services help. I want these Yoruba people to go and ask their Yoruba brothers and sisters working inside social services in the whole of the UK, if my name has ever appeared there as somebody who is homeless or somebody looking for government help. Because I am a Biafran, we work hard from our mother's stomach. That's how you find. I'm not interested in, you said this, I said it. No, I'm giving you, if you want to do research as we do in Ipob, you go to the source and you do research. Ask any of the Yoruba people working with social service, what's it called now, this unemployment, what's it called, the job center. Go and ask them. Please, go and Google my name. Give them my full name. Ask them, please check. Has this man ever claimed benefits before? Why do you think the UK government respect me? Why do they respect me? Ask, has he ever claimed benefits before? Way before Biafra. Way before Ipob. And you see the answers that we give to you. You said he was working on the streets of London, that he was homeless. And I have hosted Chekwas Okorie in my house before. When Wazirike was normal, I hosted him in my house before. I've hosted Chekwas Okorie twice in my house. When I was living in a flat and when I was living in a house. Ask Chekwas Okorie of UPP where he came to when he came to London. Have you been to see Nnamdi Kanu before? Did you eat in his house when he got there? How was his house? Chekwas Okorie will tell you before Ipob, before Radio Biafra. If they say that he was sacked by UNN, no, I left University of Nigeria and Soka because I'm not doing anything. I left of my evolution. Ask my father is no longer around. May so continue to rest in peace. I left for London to go and study. I came back home and I told my dad, if you don't send me to England, I will not go to school because UNN is not what you think it is. It's not a place fit for somebody like me. I am a thinker. I think. I am a philosopher. I reason. At Soka, I was not reasoning. Every time strike all over the place. I said, Robbie, what nonsense is this? I came back to my house and I said to my father, if you want me to be a graduate, send me to England. And he did. Because I traveled to England. They said that I was very poor. I only started breathing when Owaswike of Masot came to London. When did Owaswike come to London? When? 2009, Owaswike came. They said I was homeless, I was on the street, I was not doing it. I want to answer. Because the thing about me is that if you accuse me of something, I'll answer you publicly. When I accuse you, come out publicly to defend yourself. But the zoo cannot do it. They said I did not breathe until Owaswike came to London in 2009. I was the APGA chairman in the whole of Europe and the UK in 2002. Fighting for Peter Obi then to become the governor of Anambra State. With the promise that APGA was going to be like Biafra. Of course, it never materialized. Are you listening to me? I was the chairman of APGA, the whole of Europe and United Kingdom. Are you telling me that somebody without pedigree, somebody without education, in a gathering comprising of all the people, both Biafrans and non-Biafrans, that I will emerge unopposed as the chairman of ABGA in the whole of Europe. If I was homeless, where would I hold ABGA meetings then? In my house? Where's where I go meet in my so that you know the right discussions on Facebook. People are coming. I decimate you live on air, so the world can hear, so the world will know. Let's continue. Obasanjo came to England in 2009 on his way back from the US, where he went to go and buy a property. Say he went to go and see Obama. Came to the UK. We started with Radio Biafra. Listen carefully. Write it down on a piece of paper, please, and go and ask him. When you meet Obasanjo, you ask him, how many months did you form Radio Biafra? Then on shortwave, very expensive shortwave. And who was the company that was providing those services then? I can't forget. VT Communications. VT, just two letters. VT Communications. They're heavyweights in England, by the way. Obasanjo, you funded Radio Biafra for only 3 months. April, May, June. We stopped broadcasting December of 2009. Write these things down. April, May, June. I, Nnamdi Kanu, paid for July, August, September, October, November, December. And I went bankrupt because shortwave then was very, very expensive. I paid, personally paid. When it finished December of 2009, we tried. I went bankrupt to go and tell Obasanjo that this radio is very important. And why did he stop it? He stopped it because he felt that Radio Biafra was becoming very powerful. That's all. I revived myself. Thought I was dealing, of course, myself, they're very good people. It's just the leadership that was rotten to the core. And we left them. 2010, 2011, 2012. My own able deputy chairman persuaded me for 2 years. Chairman was on my case for 2 years that I should fund the reopening of Radio Biafra. If I didn't have money, would Chairman come to me to ask me to fund the reopening? I said, no, if I do this thing now, they'll say it's a one-man band. I went to my trusted friend then, Dr. Egemba. Sam Umasiebu, Tabo Umasiebu, Amarachi. We came back together again. I said, I have money, but I want all of you to contribute something. There's some gave me £100, some gave me £50, and that was it. Myself and Uche Mefo, we started struggling to get Radio Biafra back on air. And we did. On shortwave. Who was paying Nnamdi Kanu? Until we couldn't pay anymore. Until God said to me, if you want to get Biafra, then you have to give up all your luxury, your life and everything, and do Biafra. Which is, my first said to me, we have to go online to continue. That's how we came online. And now we're all over the world. We're on FM, we're on satellite, we're on TV, we're everywhere. That's the very simple story. That's what happened. Can anybody in the right mind? And I never wanted to broadcast. I want our people to listen very carefully. I never wanted to broadcast. I never wanted to. When we started Radio Biafra in Brixton, I went and recruited a DJ called Valentine Akudinobi. Go and ask him. He was the one presenting. I will be called maybe to talk, and I will go to make sure everything is running smoothly. I felt it wasn't my calling. Until we asked Valentine as a DJ, please give us your music so we can be streaming for our people to be listening. He said no, that we must pay him. We said in this Biafra that everybody is contributing their widow's mite. You want us to pay you? I know the Biafran. He was sacked. I didn't sack him. Taro Masebu sacked him. There was nobody to anchor, nobody to present. That was how I went under the microphone, that's all. And as they said, the rest is history. And then I was the one organizing everything. When Obasanjo visited England, how did he come to England? Obasanjo applied for visa before to come to England, and they refused him visa. But I wrote a letter with Dr. Egemba. We sent it to the embassy. in Abuja. And as Owasuke confessed, before he got to the embassy, they said, we know you're coming. We have a letter here from Nnamdi Kanu. So if I'm not working, how can they give somebody visa that are invited to the UK? Is that possible? Ask all the Yoruba who are in England, if you don't have money, if you're not working, can they invite you to the UK? Can you invite somebody and they will listen to you? I sent the invitation letter that brought Owasuke to the UK. I started working. I went home to tell him what we must do. And he kidnapped me. Listen carefully. When Owasuke came to London, I took him. They are trying to cut our transmission. I think he's back on now. I took him. I want you to listen again. I took Owasuke to VT Communications. And I asked the man there to bring out all of our receipts to show Owasuke. Show him the money he gave me, where it is. Show him here. For only 3 months. I paid for the rest. That is the truth. The absolute truth. He became financial secretary of MASOP. I was never the financial secretary of MASOP. They said I embezzled funds. Which funds did I embezzle? Who gave me the funds? Where, when, how? He took over Radio Biafra. Radio Biafra was dead. December 2009, when I could no longer fund it. Owasuke funded Radio Biafra for only 3 months. Go and ask people. Only 3 months. I funded the rest. When we went back again on air in 2012, we went through people called WRN. When my money ran out, we went online. As simple as that. God said, this gospel you must preach. And we did. That's what happened. And heaven is my witness. I was no financial secretary to anybody. He said he took over the radio. He had no money. They said, I am the owner of Alpha Phoenix Consulting Limited. I have been paying tax to Her Majesty's government for years. It's my company. I own it. It's a consultancy firm. It's still at the company's house till tomorrow morning. It's called Alpha Phoenix Consulting UK Limited. Go and find it. It is there. You will see my name as the director and Dr. Egemba as the secretary. We own it. And we pay tax. If you don't make money, you cannot pay tax in the UK. And I paid tax for years. If you want to know the job that I did, ask those that know me. Ask Dr. Egemba to tell you one of the titles of the job that I held when I did paid work, or when I worked for people. They will tell you, I manage white people, not blacks. I was at managerial level. Ask them. Ask them. They will tell you. It was somebody that went to a company I used to work for and said that I breached fiduciary, that I secured a very lucrative contract for my brother's company, Case Estate Services Limited, that was run by my younger brother in England. It was a Biafran that went and told the company that this very company, there was nothing wrong, that this company is doing so well, with annual turnover of £250,000 every year, in those days, that Nnamdi Kanu is the brother. When we took them to court, they said that I am a senior manager in the company, and because of that I should have told them that my brother has an interest in Case Estate Services Limited. I'm giving you facts. And then people are writing rubbish. Every idiots come up, they write nonsense online. I tell you who I am. Are you going to tell me who you are? Mad people everywhere. Mad people everywhere. They said in 2015, Jordan gave Nnamdi Kanu $2 million. If anybody that listened in 2015, I said do not vote. I called Jonathan a fool. I was the one that said that I want Buhari because Elohim gave me revelation. The person that will lead you into Biafra is Buhari, not Jonathan. How? Because Buhari will be so clueless and so evil that the circumstance surrounding the events of Biafra will become so apparent. This one is saying that Jonathan gave me 2 million. Go listen to my broadcast, it's still there. On the eve of that very election, it's still there. They don't even listen. He quickly changed the agenda of Maso by creating Igbo awareness to attack Buhari and PDP opponents. Another fool writing. Now let me tell you something I've never said before live on air. I have worked with Yorubas before in England. Anybody who is aware would know about a group called Concerned Nigerians. When we were fresh graduates, we thought somehow that things are going to get better for everybody. Let's go to Africa and build a dream African nation. They said Concerned Nigerians. Oh dear me. This was happening around... No, I wasn't actually a federal then. We were in London working. We used to go to meeting in a place in Bristol. In 1999, they sent me home. Igbo Nation will send me home. In collaboration with Concerned Nigerians that had everybody in it, including a very famous Yoruba army general. To send me home, I went home. Our brief was very simple. To stop the election by every means possible. So there will be chaos. And what they wanted was sovereign national conference so people can come together and discuss how the country is going to be. I hope people are following this very story that I'm giving this evening. Do you know what happened? I was sent to travel home. I traveled home. And as soon as they brought out 2 Yoruba men, Olufalaye and Obasanjo, these very generals stopped contacting me. Are you listening? Stopped contacting me. So, right, it is them, left, it is them. That was the end of it. Ask people, they will tell you. So it's not today that we started this very journey. To free the people. To free everybody. Biafran's priority to free everybody else. It's not today we started. Not today. Then he also said here that the fire show was providing him with... It's not a fire show. No one, that's why they're holding Oshibanja as well. It's giving me information. Nobody gives me anything. It comes straight from heaven. Revelation. That's why everything I say comes to pass. They say I'm drunk with power. I love my people. If you know how much I love Biafra, you cannot say such nonsense to me. That I'm drunk. You don't know how much I love. You have no idea. What I am prepared to give for Biafra, you have no clue. Because you don't know me. They said he doesn't have a house. He was homeless. Hey, these people are so useless. If you're a Yoruba person, oh my goodness, why is this thing getting like this? Why are they trying to cut this program? Why? I want to cut this program. I don't know what's wrong with them. Listen carefully, please. Listen very, very carefully. They said he has no house. He was homeless. He has no house. That's what they claim. If you know anybody who is Yoruba and who is into conveyancing, or a lawyer in the UK, ask them to use my name once again to do a search to see if I own a property in London or not, and when I bought that very property. Because every piece of land you own, because after all a house is a land as well, is registered with the land registry in the UK. And if you go to the land registry of the UK, you will see my name there. And you will see the year that I bought my property. And then you will be able to know. You will be able to know that all the nonsense you're writing is pure crap. You're saying it because you know that Biafra is getting traction. And you want to confuse yourself and not the people. I never met Governor Fayose one-on-one before in my life. He came to court to see me. We spoke on the phone. He congratulated me when I came out. And that was the end of it. He said I'm power drunk. I've never done any work in my life. How was I able to fund Radio Biafra? How did I manage to pay for our leader's hotel room when he came at Millennium Hotel in Kensington in 2002? I paid for it. I booked the room where Ojukwu stayed, and I paid for it with my card. So if you're not working, oh, these people are mad. They said now Nnamdi Kanu is worth over 10 million pounds. Do you know why they said this? They said the reason why they propagate this falsehood is so people will say, oh, as our leader, you have money already, so there's nothing for us to contribute anymore to IPOB and what you're doing. They are playing on your intelligence. They know how our people react when it comes to money. They are playing on our intelligence. They want people to believe that if I have $10 million, believe you me? No, not up to that. You want me to tell you how much we have? I won't tell you either. But if I have $10 million, Nigeria will not breathe in the next 1 week. We don't. They are trying to get you to stop funding IPOB, that's all. They think we are stupid. They think we are dumb. What's good about once you say he has money, other Biafrans will say, no, he has money already now, there's no need for us to contribute. That's what they're playing at. You know the useless Yoruba mind game, that's what they're playing. They have failed. I have no $10 million. I have no need for money. If Biafrans would not build a house in Biafra land for me when Biafra comes, that is their business, is between them and God. But I will do my job. My hands very clean. So that when Biafra comes and I go to Arochukwu to go and pray at a new temple that will be built to the glory of God in heaven, then I open my hands and I will say, you sent me on a message and I completed it. If Biafrans want me to sleep on the street, then I will do so. But my father has a house, so what do I need another house for? They must understand who we are. That we are whiter than white and whiter than snow. And that is why we proclaim unequivocally without hesitation that Biafra is our religion. And here on Radio Biafra is where we worship. And I am God is my. I don't worship flesh. I worship the only one indivisible God in heaven. Elohim Adonai El Shaddai. The one supreme God. The creator of everything you see around you. And he is our God. I thank you very much for listening. No, let me not go. I promise that I did promise you that I will take some, oh my goodness. I said I will take some questions this evening and I am prepared to do that. I'm not going to close. I do apologize. I will pray again. Of course, I'll make my closing remarks. I did say that I will answer questions this evening. If you're writing to me, please make sure you tell me where you are writing from, where you are asking your questions from. If I can actually be able to rejoin, if I can rejoin this very program, those of them who are doing this, they have pushed me out of the platform that I was on. Let me see. If you are writing, please go ahead. If you write, I will be able to read out and answer your question. I want your question, please. I can't see any questions here. There is no question. I can't see. I want people to ask me a question. Anything at all you want to ask. I want to ask a question. Somebody should ask me a question, please. A question. Do you know the type of people, followers you? No, I need proper. Ask me difficult questions. The hard ones. People have been gossiping about. That's what I want to answer. I'm in the mood for gossip tonight. I want a bit of gossip, please. I need gossip. Ask me questions around gossip. Let me try and answer it, please, if you can. Nobody is asking any questions. And on that note, from me, from here, it is good evening.